Okay.
We're actually live this time, folks. Sorry for the false start. If you were out there chasing us down, trying to track us down, we are here. We are live. I promise you,
The internet kicked us off.
We're not a simulcast.
We were too ugly to be on.
It anticipated problems. It got out in front of us. So this is episode number 497. We're going to go ahead and roll the roll call again, just for the folks at home who are watching. To my immediate left, we have
Sean Noel.
And to his left,
Dan Kromke.
And behind the boards,
Steve Sleepy.
Feverishly putting out fires. To his left,
Johnny Mac and Cheese.
And the actual firefighter,
Speedy Pete.
And to his left,
Chris Smith.
And behind the bar,
Tom Bennington.
And
Steve Hoffer.
The return of the Grumpy Sewer Guy. Yes, he's
Full
back.
house.
He's back. Oh, fullest of all full houses. We have got a hell of a lot of stuff for you in tonight's episode, including the announcement of our 500th episode and what festivities will be happening along to celebrate the 500th episode. And it's special, and you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to get to it as we move along in the podcast. Okay. Anybody who went to the Moto Go Bringing Back Shop Class Gala benefit, it was cool. It was super cool. And they always say you got to go to the source. Well, I believe that's where our new mechanic's coming from.
Oh, yeah.
So the young lady who was their Gear Shift Award winner, meaning that she was the most tenacious, the one that refused to go home at night until her motor was put together, the one who came in and worked on her own time and did all that stuff, she's come to the shop, and she is, in fact, she brought her mom with her because she is under the age of 18. So she brought her mom with, and they checked us out, and they saw Tom, and they didn't even run away.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
So they got in the service department and didn't go tear-assing out of there, which that's pretty cool. No complaints about that.
I got to meet her and her mom. I was there. They were there when I was picking up my bike.
It's pretty damn cool, isn't it?
They were both really wonderful.
Yeah, really, really a neat thing, and I'm very excited and very proud to have that coming together because that's one of those things that I've always said it'd be great to get somebody out of the MotoGo family. I think that'd be really, really fun for us to be able to do that, and that's also putting our money where our mouth is. Not only do we contribute heavily to MotoGo and Skidmark Garage as a whole, but if we can actually get a human being and give them a job to prove that the MotoGo concept pays off. Take a person who's in that, toying around with motorcycles, grab them, and let's see what kind of motorcycle mechanic we can make them into. Because they show the interest. She's obviously super duper interested in it. So now let's actually give her some skills. Let's put her in the environment and have her shadow us. And the first thing I'm going to do, and Chris will back us up on this, the worst job I can give anybody right out of the hole is to build TNT 135s.
Wait, I had to clean the toilet. That's
why you broke it now.
That's it.
Well, yeah, there's some truth to that.
So I'm pretty excited that she's going to be coming on board, and we're going to immediately throw her in the deep end by making her prep. The idea is when you prep these bikes, you learn how things go together. It shows you, it's like a big one-to-one Lego kit. It's like a big 1-to-1 model kit. And they don't give you any instructions. Chris will attest to that, too.
Because mine was all backwards.
They just give you a box of screws and a box of bolts.
And what's interesting is they might even give you some instruction, but you quickly learn what actual ways work and what are better. Like this bracket, if you put it in first before the battery,
right,
then you're solid.
Yeah,
you're
like absolutely solid.
But you're better off if you can see the forest and you can see the trees.
That's really
when
true.
You're a mechanic.
Yes, it is. Yeah, being able to look, if you're lucky enough to have an instruction sheet, which most of the time you don't, if you can lay all the parts out in front of you and your brain starts playing the game, and when we did this latest batch of Moto Marinis, and it was like a gang attack. We uncrated those things, and it was all hands on deck, and we pulled all the stuff apart, and we just took the cardboard boxes outside, and we moved them in the shop, and we got the bikes out of the crates, and we made a critical error. We didn't know that the boxes don't say what bikes they go to. And there's 6 different bikes and 6 different boxes. And then we had to figure out, we were very surprised that the boxes didn't say what bikes they went to. So then it took a whole lot of laying parts out on the floor and going, now I figured it out. This one goes with that, and that goes to that. And the Moto Marini Escape 650, the SE, the bagger, the one with all the hardware, all the bags, all the crash bars and everything, I made that one the first one I did. because I knew that would take up 80% of the parts that were laying on the floor. And then by getting that bagger together, getting that with all the accessories that come on that machine, all the crash bars, all the luggages, the different windshields, the bark busters, getting all that stuff onto the bike left my mystery pile a hell of a lot smaller. And when your mystery pile is a lot smaller, it's a lot easier as you go down. Hopefully, if you do it right, you get down to one last bike, and every single part that's left in the pile goes to that bike.
Just like playing trivia.
It is.
Eliminate the questions that don't make sense.
Right. Eliminate all the ones that don't fit.
I was saying, I was thinking it was like doing a crossword puzzle. You know, I take all the easy ones, the low-hanging fruit. And
Yeah, pare it down.
See what else fits into the other slots.
It's a big deal. We have signed with Moto Guzzi, guys. It's official. So that's happening. And then to celebrate us signing with Moto Guzzi, today we decided we'd sell one. So we didn't just sell a Moto Guzzi. We sold the best. We sold the Mandello 100 S model. It's got all the cool shit. And that happened today.
So it's 100 cc's?
Yeah, it's a 1,000 cc's.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's 1,000 cc's, and it has the adjustable suspension. It's got all the stuff.
Was it that real sexy one that we saw?
It's
at
the
AIM
green.
show?
It is the green and silver two-tone with all the trimmings, and so that's got the active aerodynamics. So, like at a certain speed, the little doors open up to give you 22% less wind on your body.
It's like a supercar.
It is like a supercar. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Really, I really am. And it was fun to be able to call my rep today and say, Brendan, hey, I need you to send me another one of those because I just sold it.
Wow.
And that's a great feeling is like on the day that you go live with that product and they're not here yet. I got to wait a few weeks for those things to show up.
I was wondering.
So I'm selling bikes that aren't there. And then after Dave Swearingen got his bagger, and I couldn't be happier to drive that thing down to Toronto, Ohio, on the shores of the beautiful Ohio River, in a very short look across the water to see what? West Virginia, right? Pretty cool. But
Swedgen.
Swearingen got his bike, and today took a deposit on another one.
Oh, Swedgen.
And they don't have any baggers to give me right now. So I got to wait a little while to get another bagger. But a customer came in the shop today and said, hey, I've been following those things. I want that bagger. And I was like, I can't just interest you in a Calibro 700, not a bagger? And he goes, no, I listened to the podcast. And I was like, oh, man. So sometimes having people listen to the podcast, they get all the secret insider information.
So both those reps have to be shitting their pants that ClevelandMoto is selling these things a hell of a lot quicker than anybody else is selling.
I don't know if we're selling them a hell of a lot quicker. I'm sure Cadre Cycle's killing it. It's springtime in Cincinnati too.
This is the story. You're selling them a hell of a lot faster than anybody else.
Well, I certainly have sold more within the time of getting the contract than, most of the time you get the contract and they sit around for a while.
But Brandon's got to be shitting his pants.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, Brendan.
Little
yeah.
fucker.
Well, he's a good guy, and he tries really hard. And sometimes when he's working with the corporate, got people, he's got his hands tied too. But he's been really good. And like I said, today when I contacted him and I said, boom, I sold one. I took a deposit on one right now. I need to fill that hole. I can't have that lineup in my shop and not have the V100 Mandello there because that's an important bike. The one I'm curious about, though, is the Stelvio. That's the one I'm like, I want to see the new Stelvio because I like Stelvios. I like the old Stelvio.
Yeah, I do too.
So I'm pretty excited about seeing that new Stelvio. And it's yellow, which I like yellow bikes, too.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yep. So we also had a bunch of bikes leave the shop today. This one guy came and picked up 4 bikes, I think.
Wow.
Kind of a douchebag would do that.
How many bikes did you guys get today?
4.
You got 4.
All 4
You
of
got
them.
4. Which 4 did you grab today?
Drifter,
Yeah.
81 Suzuki,
Oh, yes.
Janus,
Yep.
V7.
V7. And you know what's funny is I had ridden all of those within the past, 24 to 48 hours, except the Janus. I did not ride the Janus. The Janus was still dry. The carb was still dry, so it was probably hard to start. Yeah.
A little bit.
It came around, right?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
That's cool. That's super fun.
Smith is used to things being dry around him. So
It's just all the dampness.
Excuse me?
Like you should talk.
He's got
oh no, I live in the
You
drought.
live in the fucking Sahara Desert over there.
And then to celebrate small bikes, tonight I brought a very special bike over for everyone to try, and I'm going to go pull up some graphic images here. The one bike that I brought around tonight is a bike that I just got, and I'm pretty excited about it. Oh man, come on! You got to be kidding me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to use my computer, but Google is telling me that I need to buy things. The Honda Dax is a bike that I think we've all been keeping an eye on for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And I just got lucky enough to get one of them. So I got lucky enough to lay my hands on one, and it's a bike that we have been kind of wanting for a real long time. And there is some concern over this bike about what it's called. Sleepy, if you want to throw this up to the screen, that'd be cool. That's the Honda Dax. And for some reason, my computer's convinced that I'm German again. But interesting that brought this bike out. And in Germany, you can get it in other colors. In Germany, you can actually get it in Schwarz. So you can get it in pearl shining black. We don't get that color here. We get the
Dunkelblau.
blue metallic. And we get, apparently, the Pearl Cadet Gray, which they don't call it Pearl Cadet Gray here.
What did you call the black one?
Schwarz.
Schwarz.
Oh, my God.
That's what it means.
I just found out how racist my ex-wife's mother-in-law was.
Oh, really?
Because she would yell that out, and I had no idea what the fuck she was saying.
She would just yell, Die Schwarze.
Die Schwarze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that.
Okay, I had no idea. I just put that together right now, 20 years later, dude.
Well,
We all got
yeah.
those omas and opas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Man, I learned something tonight, buddy.
See me after the podcast, please.
Yeah, ain't nobody in a hurry to bring that back, right? So
Oh, yeah.
that's it.
Dude, I had no idea. Oh,
Sorry, dude. That's a thing.
oh good thing it's my
Oy,
ex, my
Gaval.
ex-mother-in-law. There you go.
Your ex-mother-in-law. Yeah, so that's it. And so for the guys at home, who got to ride the Dax tonight?
Oh, we're going back to
I
that.
did.
Yeah, we're going back because we're going to start over because we missed it. I had to go home tonight because I forgot my good computer at the house. So I went home, threw my backpack on with my good computer, threw my full face on, started my camera, and immediately tried to kill that bike between my house and here, which is, 15, 18 miles, right?
Via Lake Road?
Via Lake Road and, more importantly, via Interstate 90.
I don't like
In
to hear
48
that.
Shit.
It's 48 degrees right now, Phil.
It's chilly.
Indeed.
It's brisk.
Where'd you jump on 90?
At Clegg. Wow. So I take Lake Road to Clegg, and then at Clegg I jump on. So I only have to go a couple, 3 exits on Clegg. It's only like 5 or 6 miles, 7 miles.
Yeah, when I rode the
enough.
Dax, it was talking a little bit about you to me, and
It does.
It was like, really?
Come on. Right. We've had enough of this shit.
I told it I would talk to you about it.
Yeah, but it did. I got it to say 62 on the thing.
Wow.
But I know those aren't real distance units. I mean, I'm not a fool. But it did, between 58 and 62 miles an hour, depending on how far I was willing to crawl inside the Dax. So the smaller I made myself, the higher the number went.
Did you ride the left lane?
No, sir. I rode the shoulder. I rode as close to the shoulder as one would get.
Does that fall into anything's a dildo if you're brave enough?
It sure does. It sure does. Yeah, but it is definitely highway tested, highway proven at this point. You just don't get too cocky. Yeah. But it did great. I was very happy with it. Anybody have any reports? Because we all ride small bikes here. Everybody here has ridden something with a 125.
It felt a lot more torquey than the TNT 135.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely off the line. And I like the brakes. The brakes are very brakey.
The brakes are very brakey.
Yeah. They feel so. I don't know. It feels like a much bigger bike. It feels just like a normal motorcycle kind of to me.
That was my thing about it is I've ridden all of them. I've ridden the Super Cub, the Hunter Cub, the Grom, the Monkey. I've ridden all of them. The Dax to me actually fits my body a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's definitely roomier than the Monkey. And
And I used every
What's
inch
that
of that
word?
seat.
roomier.
Yeah, I used every inch of the seat because on the freeway, I put my ass in the back seat and got in as much of a tuck as I could get into, just to help because wind resistance is not your friend. Yeah, you're 10 minutes from me and you didn't bring the G400C. Oh, okay. I mean, but, do you know? Okay, because Chris asked me about that today at the shop. The G400C in beautiful red, right, is at the shop. It is freshly traded in. It's ready. It's serviced. It's ready to rock and roll. And it has
600 miles.
It has 600 miles on it, and it has crash bars added to it. Not shitty crash bars, actual straight from England MASH appropriate crash bars for that bike. And the crash bars actually look nice.
And
So
there's highway pegs as an
I
add-on.
took the highway pegs off.
That's interesting. You should mention that. One of my coworkers was talking about wishing he still or had a G400C in green.
Ah, well, interestingly enough, this one happens to be in red.
Who would that be, John?
Well, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put this thing on the showroom floor at $4,000, at $4,000. So $4,000 buys this bike. But if you're a podcast listener, I'm going to sell this bike to podcast people for $3,500.
I thought it was 4,500.
Wow.
That's cheap.
Damn.
So that's the thing. Another benefit of being a ClevelandMoto podcast.
If I wouldn't have
listener.
just bought a transmission for Dead Guy Dodge, I'd be in on that one right there.
Well, we know that your credit's good around the shop, so that's fine.
That's a 12.5% discount right off the bat.
We're trying to be helpful. Trying to be helpful.
How's that for mental math?
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
I really enjoyed that bike. I did get to ride it the one time, and it was like, this was really nice.
I forgot when I picked it up at Swearingen's house. I dropped off the bagger. He's super happy. That's great. I fired the bike up. Riding the bike down the street, riding the bagger down the street at Swearingen's house by the Ohio River was literally the furthest I'd ridden that bike. Yay. That's cool because it was winter. And when I jumped on the G400C and I'm, having a little exuberant ride before I put it up on the back of the truck, I forgot that RVP, the RV radial valve.
4 valves per cylinder, radial 4 valve, RFVC.
Yeah, RFVC. It does punch because it was like second gear. I dropped the hammer and gave her some beans, and the front wheel came right up in the air. And I was like, this is a happy motorcycle.
It's like when you see one, though,
Yeah.
it's like you see two like CB350s kind of hugging and going, look, our child has grown up,
Yes.
and it's so much better
Yes,
than
it's
we
so much
were.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want your children to succeed.
Yeah.
Right? It was very, there was some poke there. It was fun. It was super cool. Damn it, Phil, do you take this cover? Not at the $3,500 price. Credit cards at my shop cost you 4% because they cost me 4%. Yeah. We're not trying to be mean, but that's just the way the world works these days. That's what she wrote. But yeah, it's a super cool bike. So podcast listeners, get on the horn if you want that $3,500 super screaming deal. You are going to have to pay tax. I'm not going to pay your taxes for you. You're an adult. You are going to pay your title fee. You're an adult.
Where else could you buy a brand new 400cc motorcycle for $3,500?
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, okay, let's be completely honest. It's a 2022, so it doesn't have any warranty left. Okay, you've lost that. Somebody else has put 600 miles on it. Somebody who loves it very dearly and took beautiful care of it. And you get the kick-ass set of crash
and
bars
it's in
on
the
it, too.
family. He's in the family.
It is in the
So-
family
Right.
by far. Yeah.
Is that a one and done, or can you get more of those still? Or not?
I can still get more. I can still get more of them. If
that
somebody
bike's-
needs to have one, I can get you one.
That
Not
bike's
if that
more like
goes.
a 70s bike to
It
me.
is.
I mean, an updated 70s bike.
It really is. Yeah.
The way it's put together.
A 70s
I thought
bike
it was-
without a carburetor.
I know.
Yeah, but
That's
what I'm
what
saying
makes it so
is it's
sexy.
substantial. It's like it's a nice, solid bike.
It's the Honda CB400S with a fuel injector. That's what it is.
So, Hoff, how many miles did you have on yours?
Not many, because
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I just rode it home from
Yeah, you didn't have many
the
miles on the
shop,
bike at
and
all.
then I
Yeah.
came home in an ambulance. So
Geez Louise. But when we sold that one, it still had warranty on it and everything. So yeah, that was
but that's the one bike I would still like to get
Yep.
again.
yeah. We can make
I
that.
think he still has your.
What's that?
Don't you still have his?
No, I sold it.
Oh, you did?
I sold it. Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
come back.
Can't name the chickens, baby.
Yeah.
Can't name the chickens.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Somebody in the shop was trying to make an offer on the Ewan McGregor bike today, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
There's a number.
Which
There's
one?
a number
Which
that
Ewan
you're.
McGregor bike?
the good one,
Oh.
the BMW.
Yeah, I think the other ones. That's just.
Oh, if he would have been making an offer on the Suzuki GSX,
Yeah.
we'd be
don't-
talking about the bike I just sold today.
The way you talked about them, I don't even consider that one an Ian McGregor, even though it is.
It is,
Like,
but-
if you're talking
yeah.
about an Ian McGregor bike, to
Yeah.
me, it's the black and yellow only. Like, in your eyes.
The Honeybee bike is absolutely the one that I wanted. That's why it is what it is. Yeah, that's all there is to it. It's just fucking cool. The
3 stars.
it is 3 stars. Great. Yeah. That's great to have you back, Grumpy Sewer Guy. 3 stars. Yay. That's fantastic. Owen Stahl sends us a message that says, "Where the fuck's my box at?"
Oh,
Thanks. Hey, that's a good thing. If you feel like you're owed a promotional item and you haven't got it yet, Squeaky wheel gets the grease, baby. Let us know. If you think we owe you something, shoot us a message. Owen's got our number. Shoot us the message.
You missed the lube joke there.
Yeah, we all know.
I was going to make some comment. Just get down on your knees and we'll give you the grease.
Squeaky wheel gets the lube all right.
We will lube your chassis.
Like a pig. Squeal like a pig. But that's a real thing, and we want people to shout out if we missed you, right?
Owen thinks you're stalling him.
He might. Yeah, that's true.
No. The term is edging.
No. He's Owen's last name is Stahl.
Stahl.
As in Stahl. Right. As in Stahl. So yeah, super, super cool. We totally dig that. Let us know if we screwed you over. Let us know if you think we screwed you over, because we don't know, right? We'll have to go back
keep
and check
track
the
of
records.
everybody we've screwed over.
No, we don't. I gave up. I wasn't trying to figure out whether it was by date or by name or what. We just gave up on record keeping as far as that goes. Absolutely. As far as we're concerned, we're getting into the season now, so things should be coming at us pretty freaking fast. If you have not already signed up for the DGR, guess what? Sign-in is open. Sign-in for the DGR is wide open. Gentleman'sride.com is the name that you want to type into your device.
So that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you are, right? You can type that in, and that'll give you your city's information. Correct.
So here's the game. Sleepy, if you'd be so kind as to pull up my screen, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is gentleman'sride.com. They're going with a very interesting, I don't know, what style would you call that?
Tanuki?
Yeah? Tanuki style. They're going with a very interesting 60s look. I think this is like early James Bond movie or Our Man Flint kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
a little
totally.
Kill Bill, maybe.
Little Kill Bill, yeah, right.
Little...
So there we have right now. There's 51 days left until the event, and there are 19,958 people registered for the Cleveland Ride. No, they're not. They're not registered for the Cleveland Ride. But what you do is you go on there and you click where it says the rides. And when you click where it says the rides, that's where it's going to give you literally your ability to find the closest location to you. And this is a great event. You should do it. Why? It's fun. It's cool. But I don't like donating money to Prevent Men's Suicide, Movember Foundation, and prostate cancer research. Great. Just fucking go, man.
Yeah.
Just go do it. It's a blast. It is so much fun.
Well, every year it seems like the ride picks up one or two strays that are actually. Then they have a blast, and then they probably.
What do
come
they
back.
say? You're gonna have hop-ons.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna have hop-ons. That's gonna happen. And we have been very lucky in our in our history of doing this, that every year we meet new people that are super excited, fun, and they're rocking, right? That's a goddamn hipster. Yeah, that's a goddamn hipster. Sure, you bet it is. Yeah, the DGR is always good, but in this particular year, it's going to be better. And the reason it's going to be better is because the preview, the warm-up party, if you will. Pre-gaming for DGR, because DGR is always on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. Always. Our pre-gaming for DGR this year is Skidmark's 10th anniversary. And if you don't think that's going to be a party, my friend, you are mistaken.
Yeah.
It is going to be damned bonkers. When you sign up for Cleveland, to make sure you don't all accidentally sign up for Cleveland, New York. I didn't even know there was a place.
Oh, shit.
But for the record, they have 7 riders registered.
Or Coeur d'Alene.
Right. Coeur d'Alene's got 3 riders registered. I'd like to say we're in second place behind Chicago right now, as we usually
What about
are.
Columbus?
When I registered today, it said that there were only 156 spots left out of 200, so it's got to be more than 7.
Well, it's 44. So that's 7 registered in Cleveland, New York.
Who think they're registered for Cleveland, Ohio.
Right. Who think that they're registered for Cleveland. And that's why I say, please be careful. Yes, we did cut the number of people that are registerable to 200, which is 50 more than last year. And last year was a solid gold shit show. Okay?
Yes.
So with 150 people last year, we made not 1, not 2, but 3 impossible U-turns with 198 bikes. Right?
Oh, boy. Yep.
And
Parking lot one was so epic.
And we never stopped moving.
Figure 8.
What's that?
Figure 8.
Yeah.
Figure 8, baby.
It was one big game of Snake.
It was a giant game of Snake.
At one point, people were threading each other.
It was the most expensive. It was the most expensive game of Snake ever.
Motorcycle Centipede.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
we called it Crisscross Crash, and this was absolutely Crisscross Crash. This was thanks to them running a freaking marathon. But anyway, I was leading the thing, and the roads that I needed, the roads that I had confirmed were going to be open at 1 p.m., weren't even open at 2 p.m. And we had to really, really drop back and punt. We had to come up with some high, literally, some high art when it comes to motorcycle maneuverability. And the guys on the back with the sidecars and shit, they're just crying because we're going into parking lots between parking bollards. And I was like, okay, boys, that's it. Guess you shouldn't have brought your Can-Am Spider. Not the right time for it. 44 people are registered. There's 200 slots. But what if I'm slot number 201? Deal with it. Fucking deal with it. Seriously, deal with it. Don't be number 201. Right? You've had a year to know that it's going to happen. You've had a year to know when it's going to happen. Don't miss it. Be there. It's going to be great. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. It's something that we do, and it's great. I think it was a date, May 18th? Mm-hmm. Yeah, May 18th. So May 18th, you will have fun. If you don't have fun, it's your own damn fault. We did everything we could to make you have a good time. If you don't have fun, you've worked hard to not have fun. You've missed every opportunity to have a great time. Just lining up for the damn thing last year and getting rolling was one of my most favorite experiences ever. Aside from that event costing me an entire clutch for an extraordinarily rare motorcycle, I had a great time, a super, super great time. And this year, we're not going west, we're going east, and this year we're going to Squires Castle.
Yeah.
So that's going to make it super cool. So we're going to, there will be a castle involved. Mm-hmm. So could not be happier.
Lots of friendly faces.
Everybody.
Everyone is always having a fun time.
Many, 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 many years ago, I did the Rider for Life ride-in, and we started at Squires Castle.
Oh, you did?
And so we had 450 stunt riders show up.
At Squires Castle?
At Squires Castle.
Oh.
And so we basically
the
helped.
Rangers were not happy.
Can you
about that.
actually verify that number for me? You said 450.
Oh, yeah. No, it's in the video. If you go to Bike Styles video, the barbecue was in it. I was hanging out of every car filming everything.
Man.
But the funny part is there were so many burnouts. I think you can consider that we repaved the parking lot.
You left a whole lot of rubber behind on
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, May 18th, 2025, that's when it happens. If you're not near Cleveland, go to the one that's in a city near you. And if you don't have one in a city near you,
Come to Cleveland.
Come to Cleveland.
come to Cleveland. Or make one. Create one. Yeah, create your own. It's great. It's a really, really good time. It says, I have a 2017 DGR or DR650, but it identifies as a 96. Can I ride it in the DGR? Thank you, Motosmith. You brought up an excellent, excellent question because everyone always asks, can I ride my 2023 Herkimer Battle Jitney in the DGR? And the answer is,
Why not?
the newer your bike is, the more distinguished you have to look. So if you're riding a 2008 Hayabusa,
You better look dapper as fuck.
dapper as fuck. You'd better be in the top hat and tails. So if you're riding a bike with an excessive amount of plastic on it, turn up your wardrobe.
Or costume the bike.
Or costume the bike. That's another
have seen
great
that,
idea.
yeah.
We have seen that. There is, in Cleveland, we do not abide by the DGR rules of your bike must be at least this Triumph to participate. Okay? Corporate sponsorship. No, we have always been in the rules of this thing, and if anybody ever wants to talk to me about the rules of this thing, it says we're supposed to welcome you on your more modern machine that doesn't fit the category to participate by riding at the back of the pack. Fuck your hat, man. Okay? That is not a rule I choose to follow. We want you to be there. We don't care what kind of motorcycle you have, and I'm not going to be a gatekeeper to a great event based on what kind of motorcycle you ride. That is some bullshit. That is some grade A bullshit.
And we never have.
Not since day one.
Yeah.
Not since day one. And we have done this event since day one. We were in the first year that they did a DGR. We did it here in Cleveland. We've done it for year upon year upon year upon year. And if you look at our city's stats, we have had like over 10,000 registered riders over the years that we've done DGR. It's a really, really good thing. Cleveland has really held their head high.
And what's interesting is because it was so welcoming to different kinds of bikes, it's become kind of, for some guys, a place to bring their rare and interesting bikes. And they could be newer, they could be older, but like a lot of times you'll see these collector dudes bring out bikes now.
1929 Harley Davidson last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Showed up.
Yeah.
And ran the whole goddamn event, had a great time,
Yep.
and said, I don't like to take this bike on a lot of rides because a lot of rides that people throw, guys get some wobbly pops in them, and they want to turn it into a graphic exhibition of speed or what have you. Last year when we did it, we saved the graphic exhibition of speed until after the event was over.
Right.
And that was a lot of fun. We decided to zig where everyone else zags. And it turned out it paid out really well for us. So we really enjoyed this event. Is a great event. We love it. But we're not going to tell anybody they're not allowed to participate unless you ride a Can-Am Spyder. So, because that's just...
Slingshots are fine, though.
Slingshots are absolutely positively out.
If you have a Slingshot or Can-Am Spyder
Yeah.
and you decide to show up,
Yeah.
you'd better have the entire orchestra with you.
Yeah, that's true. You better be pretty goddamn dapper. You know what? And here's the thing. I'll say it. I'll just take the
We
heat
will
on
do
this
the
one.
Charleston.
If your motorcycle has a steering wheel, it's not a motorcycle. Okay? We talked about this. If you're driving a Slingshot, congratulations on your three-wheeled car. Park it next to the Morgan. I'm sure you'll get no respect, right? Everyone's going to talk about the Morgan. Nobody's going to talk about your Slingshot. A Can-Am Spyder, I get it. I get it. It's fine. It's just a mutant snowmobile. That's what it is. It's a snowmobile with a birth defect. That's all's happening on there. But if that's what you got and that's what you ride, you know what? Fine. If you got a sidecar rig, if you got a trailer, just be careful. Okay? Just be careful. Remember that everyone around you, in this event, there's going to be lane sharing. Okay? We're going to be in a stagger. It is really fucking hard to be in a stagger with a vehicle that's as wide as a Honda Civic. Factual statement. Factual statement. And I get it that you want to play along and everything else. But please, please have some consideration. If you can ride a two-wheeled vehicle, this would be the opportunity to bring your two-wheeled vehicle out. If you look out in your garage and you have a Can-Am Spyder with the full adventure off-road kit Winnebago package, and then you also have a two-wheeled vehicle, this would be a time to bring the two-wheeled vehicle. Out of consideration, out of an abundance of cool for everyone else in the group. Because accordions do happen. When you're doing a group ride with 200 and some bikes in it, the accordion will take over. And when a guy's trying to find a spot or a roadblocker's trying to find a spot and you're there taking the entire of the lane, it makes things difficult for those around you. It just does. So please be considerate of the people around you. That's fine. And if you guys want to have a Can-Am DGR, they actually have that. There actually is an automotive gentleman's ride. They have that. It's a thing. This company that created, the group that created the DGR, has also created like a cool classic car run thing. And it's the same concept. It's for charity and the whole thing. But that's where a more suitable home for items that are wider than 6 feet wide, right? 7 feet wide.
I have a question.
Far away.
So if you're riding a Can-Am and you put motorcycle tires on it, is that going to the dark side?
It is definitely dark siding a Can-Am. It is absolutely Can-Amming. That is dark siding the hell out of a Can-Am. You're like, I'm special. I'm so cool. And that's the thing, man. That's that whole idea of like, well, I got to be different. Okay, you're different now. You've gotten super duper different on us. It's a thing. People do it. I was just thinking of you guys, Gerard.
No, it's Gerard's.
It's Gerard squared. Yeah.
Look, he's coming in. You got a customer.
There you go. He's going to stop for service on his way to Chicago. Woo. Yeah, that has happened before. That has actually happened a hell of a lot. But consult Tom first because shit's getting hairy in the service department. Shit is getting super hairy.
Well, this would be something for the new assistant.
That's she's coming in at the wrong time for I'm just going to dip my toe in.
Yeah. Well, we did have that conversation in the shop the other day about language and conversation.
Yeah. We're going to have her sign like 17 NDAs, right? We're going to have a whole new earmuffs rule at the shop. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Having a 17-year-old
kids these days, I don't know if they're going to get all the references, but they have their own references. So
I like how
a little weird.
I like how Chris just came in. What did you say about?
She's a salty Mags girl.
Mags girl, Magnificat.
Mags.
Right, yeah. She'll do fine, right? She'll do fine. Yeah, I was a little concerned because, having young adults around us is a little scary for me. It's just one of those things. Now, talking about motorcycle companies, they don't all survive.
Breaking news?
Breaking news.
Tanuki News?
Our man on the ground.
Our man in UK. So if Sleepy wants to pull this up, you may have recalled in the past we have talked about a motorcycle company that was selling bikes in the UK called Mutt, M-U-T-T, Mutt. And Mutt is one of those companies that buys Chinese bikes and dolls them up and makes them cool. Or they design them and then they make them in China to keep the price attractive. And that's what this is. Fuel injection, cool look, classic bike. And they did a whole bunch of cafe racers, this company. And they really did. A lot of people in the UK, a lot of groups that I'm on that follow them are like, these guys are all right. These are pretty cool. They're gone. All right. Ooh. Sorry, bud.
Oops.
And this is the deal. And we know, and we're all sitting here at this table knowing that there are a metric shit ton of 350s and 400s out there in the market right now. Everybody. And guys that didn't historically have 250s, 350s, and 400s have them. So there's a whole lot of Royal Enfield Meteors out there and a whole lot of, Triumph 400s out there. And they're all pretty affordable, right? They're all pretty easy to buy. And that's the problem is this company, Mutt Motorcycles, they made 125 cc's for the learner regs and 250 cc's. And they did a really, really good job taking advantage of the tiered licensing rules of England, of the UK. And they're really nice bikes. And I would much rather ruck up on one of these Mutt bikes because it's a really attractive looking bike. It's something that you could own that bike and not be shamed for riding a 125, right? And get your L-Reg out of the way. You do your time, as they say. It's a really good-looking machine. The downside is, with bikes being manufactured in India and bikes being manufactured in China and bikes being manufactured all over the place, they no longer have a financial advantage against those competitors. And they can't. And they just cannot hold it together. That Royal Enfield Hunter 350, the Meteor 350, their Mutt 250 was about 4,000 pounds, $5,200. Well, the Royal Enfield Hunter is under $4,500 for a Hunter 350. And so if it comes down to it, do you want a 250 or do you want a 350?
Or do you want a 400, the G400C? I mean, you're getting
It's
close
another
to that.
great. The G400C is going to be, you're going to be able to own that bike at $39.99, right? Or $44.99 for a brand new one. So the G400C is a great example. When you look at Benelli's and how cheap Benelli's are for a Benelli TNT 302, that's got everything. It's a fully modern motorcycle, 6-speed transmission and good power. That makes it real hard to justify spending $5,200 on a 250, right? It really does. And so despite Mutt having it figured out for quite a while, they can't stay in business.
It's too bad because that's a good-looking bike.
It is a good-looking bike.
And for a person that doesn't have the time or the skills or the vision to put that together themselves, they've done it for you.
Yeah.
But then it is like a cookie cutter custom kind of.
It sure is.
So do you want the factory bike like the ones you're just describing that you can just go and buy? Or do you want something with a little panache like that that you could just get it and it looks cool and...
Well, that's like MASH had all those really cool bikes, like that was pretty nice.
And MASH isn't going anywhere, so MASH has done a very good job of securing their foothold in the market. That's great. We know from the G400C that the quality's great. That MASH and the G400C, the same manufacturer. So it's a tough thing to see that go, only because they had a great idea for a minute, but they just couldn't hang it. They couldn't hang with the other companies. As those major manufacturers have now dipped into the 250, 350, and 400cc market, it's making life tougher for the guys that, for a while there, that was their bread and butter. L-Reg bikes, cool L-Reg bikes. Well, that's a real thing. And all of us, if you're not paying attention for the guys playing at home, rumor has it KTM's got over 250,000 motorcycles that are going to hit the market that are a little old, they've been sitting in a crate for a while, but they're going to be making some sore dick deals on these things. So for people that are like, well, I'd like to get a KTM, the market's going to be pretty well flooded with them pretty fast. And I can't imagine that they're going to try to sell these motorcycles at full price when they're a year or two old.
Did you turn up any numbers on the Mutts? How many they actually sold?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I tried. I gave it a quick look. It's one of those things, the British market, there's a lot of advertising hoo-ha and a lot of marketing stuff, but the best I can figure is they're probably in that neighborhood of a 6,000 to 7,000 bikes a year situation.
Do we think there's going to be any tariff effects on the KTMs coming in?
Yeah, well, of course there are. Yeah, so there's, that's just going to be a real thing. Our 10% Chinese tariff has turned into a 20% Chinese tariff. I get letters, I get emails from every day from our distributors, whether it's Bell Helmets or whatever companies that produce things in China. We are getting letters daily telling us about, hey, we don't want to do this, but we're raising the price of our helmet 20%. This is what we have to do. And change your prices. Don't be caught. Don't be angry when the next time you place a shipment or an order for an extra 100 helmets that magically you got to pony up an extra $5,000, right, out on your order. That's happening with everything. And that's happening with tires. That's happening with parts. There's all kinds of stuff. Reciprocal tariffs, if that gets traction and that actually ends up happening, it is going to screw our world up dramatically. A 31% tariff on a Moto Guzzi is going to be a very hard thing to overcome. It's going to be a very difficult thing to overcome.
But didn't the EU just drop their tariffs on cars to like 2.5%?
It's going to, but
so,
not.
I mean, you would think
right.
that maybe this will pan out at some time in the future where they decide that it's not worth the war and they're going to drop the reciprocal tariff will go down. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but you would hope that that's the end game of this.
Right. A question from one of our chat observers says, what's the future in the United States for Royal Alloy? Well, I can tell you, Genuine Scooter Company, who's the U.S. distributor for Royal Alloy, they have temporarily dropped the 150 model. That's the model that had the carburetor. They're keeping the 300 model. So that's great. The 300. What's that?
That's what they have.
Yeah.
They said before.
Yeah, the 300 model is a great bike. We absolutely love it. They're keeping it. It's fuel injected. It meets all the Euro regs. It meets everything it has to meet to be cool. Now they're going to have to change that 150 into a fuel injected bike. They're going to have to make it keep up with emissions demands in other markets. It's not the United States they're worried about. They sell fucking 28 of them in the USA and nobody cares. But we're talking about their world presence. We're talking about that company's ability, Royal Alloy's ability to build these bikes and sell them and make a profit on them to keep making them. The 300 is going to be around. The guys at Genuine just came back from a whirlwind tour. They were in Taiwan. There's going to be some new product coming from them, so I'm excited to see what that is.
Updated, buddy.
I don't know. We just found out that one of our best friends in the industry, Colin from Denver, from Sportique, just got hired by Genuine Scooter Company to be dealer development. Ooh. And you can't ask for a better dealer development guy than a guy that's run a dealership for 30 years. Mm. So, a guy that's physically successfully run a multiple city, stash of dealers is the guy you want to be in charge of dealer development. Mm-hmm. So many times I deal with these people that are dealer development and they've never sat on the product they're selling.
Ooh. Yeah, how can you do that? How can you be honest with anybody if you have never sat on the product?
How many booths did we go into at the AIM Expo?
I think we're missing the important part here.
Yeah.
So next year's dealer development for Genuine Scooters in Mexico is going to be fronted by Colin?
No, by Genuine.
Well, Genuine, but Colin's going to be the lead here.
Genuine.
Okay.
Not Colin. Genuine Scooter Company.
Cancun on Genuine, I get it.
Genuine Scooter Company is going to... I think Genuine Scooter Company should host the United States American Motor Scooter Association Dealer Networking Intensive. The marketing and training intensive. I think they should host that.
Absolutely.
There's no reason they shouldn't.
Absolutely.
Because
this is in the books now.
Well, because their company used to do that.
Right.
Their company used to do a very big thing about that. When Buddies hit, and Stella's hit in 2002, and Buddies hit in 2006, they actually set up boot camps. They set up rodeos and had our dealers go to them and go to boot camps and dude ranches to get together and learn about these bikes. And it's a great time. You spend 4 days out there with each other, but you're getting trained by the professionals that know what they're doing. You're not having somebody read a PowerPoint presentation to you. And that's gone COVID came, those type of experiences went away. The hands-on training went away, and it's been replaced by, oh, you want to be certified to be a, Benelli dealer? Great, watch this PowerPoint.
Wow.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And COVID took that, and COVID said, you can operate this way and you can survive this way, and look at all the money you're saving by not renting a hall and putting all these people up and training them. When the glory days were happening, that company that everyone loves to hate, Kimco, spent a lot of money to get their Kimco dealers into their city in Sparkleburg, right? And they got them together, and we went and we learned how to work on their bikes. We learned their correct way of working on their bikes. We learned their correct way of ordering their parts. We learned their correct way of taking care of their warranty stuff. And all the people from Taiwan were there. And that was a really, really great experience. But that happened exactly once. And it needs to happen more frequently. Manufacturers do need to put some skin in the game and make sure that the people who are selling their bikes for them and working on their bikes for them have an idea of what the fuck they're doing. Because it is not cookie cutter. It is not, oh, congratulations, you can work on a CB350. You can clearly work on this Ducati Diavel. It ain't the same. Just programming the computers on these bikes, just getting the accessories to work, this can be frustrating. And if your dealers are in the room and you're trying to make it work and it doesn't work, guess what? It's not one dealer who doesn't know how to work his fucking pads in, Killbuck, Arkansas. It's every dealer in the room together proving the system doesn't work. And then you're going to get action.
That just takes away the institutional knowledge
It does.
of being able to call another dealer and say, hey, I'm having a problem with this.
Yeah.
What have you seen? And then it's the same way in almost every industry now. Though.
One of my favorite things was going to annual training. And we go to annual training, sit in a room with 25 other dealers, 25 other mechanics that do this every day, and the hands go up and say, hey, I'm having a problem with this. And they go, okay, who else is having a problem with this? And 25 hands go up. Guess what? Now they have a first-hand review of what their process is and how to fix it. As opposed to, oh, well, Tom managed to figure it out, so he didn't call. Again, squeaky wheel theory. If Tom figures it out, good for Tom. But what about the other 96 guys that can't figure it out or didn't figure it out? That's what happens. So Tom's not going to call tech support if he figures it out.
Well, we literally just ran into this with of all bikes, Sean's bike.
Right.
Where it took me almost a week to figure out that I didn't have the proper firmware.
Right.
And so it took me beating against Piaggio going, oh no, just the start button. Just the start button's fine.
Where did the proper firmware come from?
Italy.
Exactly.
It had to go all the way up the chain back to Italy. And this is just one. And I've seen, because I checked.
Had we been in a tech support room, had we been in a class installing those accessories like we used to do.
3 or 4 times, because modern Vespa, as much as we give it grief,
Yeah.
always has the question. It doesn't always have the answer.
Right.
But a couple of people had said, look, I had to go back to the dealer. The dealer had to go back to get a firmware update. And I went, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
This might be the thing. Now, I kept going to one of our reps until Renee went, no, talk to the other one. He is more, and you even said he's more technical.
Well, it's true. I mean, different people have their strong suits, right?
And I went to him, Eric, and said, look, this is the problem I have. This is the report update. This is every scrap of information I can peel from this bike and pads. Now, every Vespa person out there right now, you don't get this kind of access.
No, you don't.
And I could get it to connect to my phone, the Mia, and I could do all the things, but I could not get it to activate the heated grips and the heated seat. And Eric finally went, aha, let me contact Italy.
Yeah.
Now, yours is a 22 or 23?
23.
Okay. So early Vespa 300s, this is important. Early Vespa 300s with the new dash and the new keyless fob got the early firmware update, and then mid-year, of course, they updated.
Right.
And the early ones don't have the proper map.
Correct.
So, and now looking back, I think the Seafoam Green one didn't need the Mia. It just needed the firmware update.
Exactly.
But this is information that's...
I sold the Triumph Steve McQueen Scrambler 1200, never having once ever successfully paired it to either my Pixel or my iPhone.
Ouch.
never once having successfully done it, and raised these questions with Triumph North America several times about, what am I doing wrong? Why won't this work? And their answer was always, take it to the dealer and let the dealer hit it with fresh firmware, right? Take it to the dealer, let the dealer hit it with fresh firmware. The problem is, guys, that's not free. And it's not free. And they're not going to cover, and this is the part that chaps my ass, is that dealership did not want to cover that under warranty. They didn't want to take, they wanted to bill me for an hour and a half a time outside of warranty to make the thing do what it said it was supposed to do. And I find that to be pretty off-putting.
I mean, that's fitness of purpose.
Right.
So you don't have to have a warranty to have a guarantee of fitness of purpose.
Exactly. I totally agree. I completely agree. And I got nowhere in the situation. And you know what? That's Bob's problem now, right? That's Rob's problem now. So he probably is going to have success. Do you know why? Because it's probably found its update. I never let that bike access the internet, even though it desperately wanted to. And I just was like, no, I don't think I'm going to press that button. I don't think I'm going to allow you to download the internet onto my motorcycle.
Right.
I just didn't feel like I didn't feel comfortable doing it because I've seen the way it's jammed me up on other bikes. Right. So it's not the thing that, it's not the thing that I want to participate in. Yeah.
You wake up one day, your bike's into conspiracy theories. You're like, oh no. Man.
I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, I knew this was going to. Come on, man. Oh, that's no fun. And boy, ain't that the truth, though, because we've had some firmware kill some pretty good bikes in my showroom that we're like, man, this bike ran great. Okay, let's do the update. And the bike is now a brick, right? Or it does everything worse than it used to do it. Yeah.
Well, that happened to me it's not motorcycle related, but on my Subaru. So I turned off Starlink, or I had them turn off Starlink, which is the way they update their software. And I went to the dealership and I said, you need to update the software on this manually. And 4 days later, they couldn't figure it out, even though they knew that Starlink was off, and they didn't listen to the fact that the internet was not connected to the car. So it took them 4 days to repair it, but then everything was fine.
Everything was fine after that.
Yeah.
But the point is, if I'm on the side of the road, I don't care what version of firmware I have.
No, you just want it to run.
I just want it to run. That's priority would be just having the thing run.
I mean, isn't there such a thing as limp mode? Like, if it detects that the firmware, it reverts back to a default firmware that will make the car run.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on what level.
It's
and
really
what level of the firmware is corrupt. It could, if it's the BIOS or whatever.
It's a scary thing.
It's screwed.
Yeah, it's screwed. It's really super unfun. Speaking of super unfun, don't slow down in front of a Tesla. Tip: if you ride a motorcycle, if you ride a vehicle with two wheels, don't slow down in front of a Tesla. In fact, if there's a car parked in front, if there's a car stopped in front of you, and you're going to stop behind that car because the light is red and that's what you do when the lights are red, and you look in your mirror and see that there's a Tesla behind you, I recommend changing lanes. Because it is now documented to hell and high water, including our friend Mark Rober, responsible for making small children smarter and smarter and smarter every single day. They did the Wile E Coyote trick. They actually did it in real time. They made a giant painting, a huge painting of the road. Like Wile E Coyote would paint the tunnel on the side of the rock face, and Roadrunner would drive into it like it was real, right? Like the idea was he's going to hit this lifelike painting and he's going to be a flattened bird. Well, Mark Rober, being the guy with the resources that he is, made a 60-some, 80-foot-some wide wall, a real wall. And it made it of polystyrene, of foam, so it wouldn't kill anybody. And it's painted so that any human, any cat, any bird, any dog,
Tanuki.
A tanuki. Yeah. A tanuki with a bottle of liquor and a raging boner wouldn't think he could run through that thing, right? Nobody would make a run at this thing because it is so obviously two-dimensional.
Well, considering some of the dumb shit that this group has done.
Well, yes, exactly. So they did the test with a Lexus that has LiDAR. And LiDAR is a little laser beam that the laser goes out, the laser comes back, it measures the time difference between the two, and instead of radio waves, it uses laser waves, right? That's how it works. It uses a laser beam, out the beam goes, the beam comes back, it knows what's in front of it is a tangible thing, a corporeal form, or whether it's a ghost.
I would think that would work.
Right?
Yeah.
LiDAR does work.
Yeah.
And all of this concept of self-driving stuff was all proven with LiDAR. Yeah. But then Tesla said, we like to save money. I'm sorry, we'd like to be more profitable. So, and they took the LiDAR out.
So during COVID,
yeah,
everybody had what's that term again? It's a really special term.
Think about it, Tom, and come back with us later.
They had problems getting things like radar. Is the best way to say it.
There was a shortage. There was a supply chain contraction
issues.
of certain items.
That's the term I was looking for. So to get around supply chain issues, there's actually a huge study on this. Tesla decided to rely on cameras instead of relying on radar, which is the typical thing that everybody uses.
Subaru uses.
Exactly.
Cameras too. No, it uses cameras.
Camera only. But they also don't sell a thing called Autopilot, which is where Tesla's failure is. Subaru will admit they're a level 2. Level 2 automation's a thing. Automation, they want to be, they're like, oh no, we're as good as Waymo, which uses light. If you look at a Waymo, it looks like fucking Ecto.
It's LiDAR, baby.
Exactly.
Right. It's LiDAR.
And our specialist isn't here this evening who actually can't talk about these things.
Sleepy, pull that picture up if you don't mind.
Oh my gosh.
There it is.
I love how comic book that looks.
Oh God, it's brilliant.
I love how Who Framed Roger Rabbit that looks.
Yeah.
But that happened in reality.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But now I'm going to fuck with you all.
Yeah.
Another part of this test, and it's Mark Rober, and you can look it up by saying Wile E. Coyote Tesla test. He also took a condition that never presents itself when you're driving your motorcycle called fog and rain.
Yeah.
And he created rain and fog. And then he put a little child called Mannequin Skywalker. And he put Mannequin Skywalker out in the middle of the road. And the Tesla sent that child into fucking orbit.
Oh, no. Well, it's a good thing it was a Skywalker.
Was this test just... was it only Teslas, or did he test other vehicles
there
as well?
was a control group, and the control group was this car that nobody can get their hands on called a Lexus. It's not true. They're fucking Lexus. They're everywhere. You can buy them all. And Lexus makes that car that has it. And both of these vehicles have full self-driving, or what they call autopilot, okay? And there's a big fucking giant technical loophole.
Level 2 automation.
About what is what and what you are allowed to have access to. Go ahead.
They don't. Tesla doesn't call it auto driving. Like if you go to their, they call it
autopilot.
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 Well, no, but they were calling
it. No, it is. It's called autopilot.
When you get the version of it, though, like they're not calling.
The judges called
full self-driving.
So
I know, but Tesla wasn't calling it self-driving. They were calling it something.
Super assist.
They
Mega
can't
assist.
They can't call it self-driving because it is only level 2.
It was like supervised or I forget the name.
Hey, you want to hear about Wingman?
No. What's happening, though, is when you give somebody a button in their car that says you don't have to think as much anymore because your brain hurts, people are going to press the button. And as long as there's a button in your car that says, my brain hurts and I'm tired and I want to text, people are going to press that button. Now, my truck has a stupid lane assist feature that if I'm in cruise control at 68 miles per hour and the cameras that are in my car that are, very bottom end Ford F-150 detect that I'm going towards that stripe on the road, it will nudge the steering wheel back into the middle. And if it goes to the other side, it'll nudge the steering wheel back into the middle before I hit the rumble strips. Yay. And it will give me a stern warning on the dashboard saying, hey, do you need to take a break?
Yeah.
We've detected that you're drowsy or whatnot.
The coffee cup.
Or it will, yes, it is literally a coffee cup. And it will also say, place your hands on the wheel, et cetera, and, hand the firearm out, handle first, et cetera, right? So it does this. And this is a shit level Ford F-150. This is a 2022 base model F-150. And I had no choice. That came in the car. I didn't get to pick it. It's there. And I have seen cocksuckers going down the road in my truck using that as autopilot. Okay? If they have a button, they will press it. Never underestimate the stupidity of the average human being. But in this particular situation, Tesla has literally told its operators, the people that drive them, that they can unlock a certain feature as a test mode or a beta or whatever. And there's a button in the vehicle, and I have been in numerous Ubers that were Teslas, where the person operating said Uber was letting the car do all the heavy lifting. Okay? Because they can press that button and the car does it. But and you have to acknowledge that this is happening around us. This is happening all around us. But what they have proven time and time again with a warm stack of crushed motorcycles and bodies is that the Tesla will not see your motorcycle as a motorcycle that is 50 feet in front of it. It will see it as a car that is 600 feet in front of it due to the dynamic size relationship. Go ahead, John.
Well, it's interesting because when I was driving in, I guess it would be my nephew-in-law's Tesla down in Alabama, like I was blown away that in the heads-up display, it was showing the road in front of you, your lane, the opposite lane, and the vehicles that were coming. If it was a semi, it showed a semi coming. If it was a motorcycle, it showed a motorcycle. I don't know, like it was discerning what types of vehicles. It wasn't down to the make and model, but it was identifying the other vehicles traveling in your lane and other oncoming lanes and stuff.
The new Civic, the Honda that I have, that it has a similar thing to Phil's truck, but if you use the radar cruise to maintain distance and such in its heads-up display, it will also determine whether or not the vehicle's a car, a semi, something, and you'll see it. It's ideally.
Maybe they just don't have it programmed properly for motorcycles.
It's a little more rudimentary in that than a Tesla, but
so Phil talked about this way back that the biggest motorcycle that was constantly being hit by Teslas was a bagger Harley. And because the brake lights on a bagger Harley are on the left and right of the bags far out. And the problem is a Tesla looks at that and doesn't see it as 10 feet away. It sees it as 100 yards away.
Exactly.
Because a car, the taillights are going to be X number of feet apart. Yeah. And it's going to be that far in the distance. And that comes down to the fact that they're using the camera and not the radar.
Using the camera that exists instead of the radar that doesn't exist.
Right.
And it can't use something that's not there.
Absolutely.
And I promise you, there has been zero incidents, and I did look, there has been zero incidents of any four-wheeled vehicle autonomously crushing a motorcycle other than a Tesla. That every motorcycle that got crushed by an autonomous vehicle or a level 2 autonomous vehicle, every single one of them, and there's a bunch, it was a Tesla. And there are cases where the case is established, the investigation is done, the NHTSA report is there, and we hear nothing else because of the settlement and the NDA. Because Tesla is not afraid to write a settlement or an NDA. I'm sure they aren't.
It's like Tesla needs to add the LiDAR to their camera. Like they need to have two layers.
No, they had it. And they took it out.
It was a literally a cost-saving measure.
So somebody had a meeting and said, well, the lawyers defending us are going to cost this, and the LiDAR in each and every car is going to cost that. Let's pay with the let's bury the bodies and pay the lawyers. This is my problem. I have never come out as strongly on this as I am right now because now the genie is out of the bottle. Now, the problem is some attorney generals who are responsible for investigating these things and making the laws that prevent them from happening, they've recently lost their jobs. I don't know if there's any collusion there or anything. I'm not entirely sure about that. But what I can tell you, though, is that these reports are now coming out for guys who died in 2022, for guys who died in 2023, and guys who died in 2024. And the reports are now coming out, and it is absolutely verified that the car that killed them was a Tesla, and the car that killed them was driver's hands were off the wheel. Driver was letting the car do the driving. Now, if you don't have LiDAR, you cannot let the people have their hands off the wheel. That's just what it comes down to. Mark Rober proved it with fog. Mark Rober proved it with water. Mark Rober proved it with a giant styrofoam picture of the road. If your car is not smart enough to identify a 60-foot wide fucking obstruction just because it has a road printed on it, keep in mind it's very easy to do an image search of Teslas under the back of 18-wheelers. The 18-wheelers happen to be big, white squares. And Tesla seemed to have a problem identifying the big white square as something you're not supposed to drive through.
But if it had LiDAR,
It
it would have saw that it was an inanimate. It was an
100%.
Well,
100%.
if you've ever been to San Francisco, is the basis of what I see. Have you ever seen a Waymo Jaguar in person?
Yeah. Well, the Waymo parking lot video is one of the best videos on the planet.
Exactly.
Right.
They still fuck up.
Sure.
But
Yep.
if you look at that car is covered more radar than a fucking F-35.
But if you run across the street,
yeah. Oh, it'll stop.
if you're on
It
hate,
will
if
stop.
you're on hate and you run across the street and you trip and fall because you got glitter fairied,
Yeah.
right? That car's going to stop.
Yeah.
The car's going to stop.
And you can trick them all day. You can run them in a parking lot. You can run them in circles. They will do stupid shit.
Yeah.
But the reality is they are a true level 4 car.
It's a LiDAR. Yeah.
So the problem is everybody's been sold on this idea that Tesla isn't a fully automatic car when it literally is a level 2-ish.
Yeah. So it
Is
is
it
something.
advertised as a level 2? I mean, is
It's just sold as autopilot.
They literally use the word autopilot marketing.
They don't even try to tell you what it is.
I just wonder if
Phil's
I mean,
truck is a
not
level
that
2.
there's anything you can do about it, 'cause
Right.
until the car is changed, and you can't do anything about it until the car is changed. But with an offset, like if you rode with an offset
Right.
to the car in front of you, so that you wouldn't get crushed, but in between two things, like does that make any difference if you're offset to the car?
That makes all the difference. Because whether the person behind you is driving a Tesla or they suck. Right?
Because I would never go down the center of the lane. I would always be on either.
Whether the person behind you is in the Tesla or they just are a shitty fucking driver or they got to get that next fucking Instagram post out or they're on fire on fucking X at the moment, right? And they just got to respond to that chat. Whatever it is always better to leave a gap in front of you so you can get punted into that gap. Because getting punted into the gap is so much better. I had 2 bikes come into my shop that were, when they started life, over 7 feet long. Right? And they came into my shop and they were no shit 2.5 to 3 feet long. Whoa. Okay? Not to mention the one guy who did it had a, let's just call it what it is. He had a mangina going from the inside of his right knee to 4 inches above his belly button. Okay? And he's never been the same since then. Okay? He doesn't get the privilege of having a bladder anymore. He lost all of his lower intestine, right? His life is radically, radically different. And the person that hit him is an uninsured motorist. Okay? There is no great outcome for this guy. He used to be a motorcyclist. He is not a motorcyclist anymore. And I had to pick the bike up at the impound lot. And when I went to the impound lot to pick the bike up, I straight up refused to pick it up, and I left it right where it stood. I took a bunch of pictures of it, and I unasked the AO as quick as I could because I want no part of that. And then the court called me in as an expert witness because they wanted to fight it and try to say that his brake lights were defective in the motorcycle. He was stopped. So if you don't think there's a lawyer that is out there to try to prove that you're wrong when you're sitting at a goddamn red light and the car rails into the back of you at 30 miles an hour, yeah, there will be a lawyer. Misney will make him pay, right? You can find people that do horrible things. And they said they want me to go into court to prove whether or not his brake lights were functioning when he was sitting stationary at a red light.
There's no way to prove it, though.
So they could defer the blame of the accident off of the operator onto, it's a whole thing about, it's just whether the filaments are intact or whether they're not. Exactly. Right. If a filament in a bike, and I'm going to promise you, if there was one unbroken bulb in this fucking bike, I'd be shocked. Okay? But the fact is that his family's attorney was begging me to go in and prove, as an expert, that his brake lights were functional on his bike because the company that was representing the uninsured motorist, right, their family, their group, was trying to prove that he was somehow at fault because they never saw his brake lights. He's stationary at a fucking red light. Maybe he's got it in neutral. Who knows? Maybe he's going between the gears. I don't know. Maybe he's doing what we all do.
That's very true. I mean,
he's rolling up or rolling back.
Both feet are on the ground, and you're not holding the front brake. Your brake light's not going to be on.
There's no law that says your brake light has to be on when you're sitting stationary at a red light. So I'm sorry. That's chasing down. That's a ruse. That's a red herring.
I've made it a habit.
Yeah.
My hand goes like this.
Pulses constantly.
Absolutely. I do that a lot too.
Yeah. I want people to see that sucker, man.
Make it conspicuous.
Yeah.
Make it conspicuous. Yeah.
I mean, that's why the back off was so popular for so long. Was that you pull the brake and it flashes.
I have those on my Africa Twin on the two sides.
Everybody, that's and being conspicuous is your best fighting chance. Secondary to not putting yourself where the fuckers can get you. Spatial awareness and being where they can't be is your best defense.
Well, the rule is everyone on the road is trying to kill you.
Yes. Yes.
They will kill you to get their Starbucks.
Drive like you're invisible and they're hunting for you.
Also, don't be scared. Like, people are like freaked out. They will die over not getting out of the way and possibly getting a ticket.
Right.
Like, I will, if there's like a pile of cars on the highway, I get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And if that means slowing down or going faster, which in my case, most of the time it's going faster.
Don't be afraid of your.
But
don't
like,
be
you
afraid
know,
of your
but I'm
problem.
happy to do 80 in a right-hand lane, 75, whatever,
Yeah.
chilling by myself. But as soon as those cars get there, I am getting the fuck out of that area, man.
It's hard to get rear-ended if they can't catch you.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I have never been rear-ended during acceleration, right?
In thrust,
Oh,
we
wait,
trust.
I was going to say, there one time we shot that video with the electric scooters, and they got up and going a little faster than you thought they would.
Oh, yeah.
And you almost got rear-ended while accelerating.
I did.
Yeah, the
Because
camera.
I was trying to film. I'm like, hey, here they come. Oh, shit.
Wouldn't that be embarrassing?
Yeah.
To get ran over by an electric scooter whilst filming a video.
That was such a fun day. We have to do another one of those.
We do have to do
somehow.
another one of those.
That was
yeah.
a good day.
Yeah, that was
man.
fun. It was a good idea taking them all out and just kind of ripping them around on them. It was super fun. That's that thing. And this is not political. This is not pro Tesla, anti Tesla. That's not what this is about. Well, it's anti fucking Tesla is what it is. It's if you're going to charge $85,000 for a car, put the LiDAR in it.
Yeah.
Put the LiDAR in it. What is your profit margin that you can't afford to put a $900 LiDAR system in there? I looked.
Well, my point is why is there no regulation making it? Because if that's the thing that causes it to say, why is it allowed to not have it?
Yeah.
They can't afford the good glue to keep the body panels on. I think
Also,
the LiDAR's
true. Also, that's factual.
I still want thermal.
Yes. Well, yes. I mean, Cadillac had thermal.
Yeah,
right?
a long time ago. Buick, right? Didn't
Cadillac
Buick have
had
one
thermal
too?
about
And Cadillac?
15 years ago.
Yeah.
They used the deer to advertise it. I was like, oh, look at that. That's cool. You know,
I mean, that would be a great thing. Like a helmet with thermal.
you don't
would be
need to get
great.
an expensive scope on your rifle. Just aim your Cadillac at the woods, and then you know where the critters are. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that
you can get FLIR for these guys.
$200.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get a FLIR
FLIR's
unit
easy.
for $200. Well, come on, man, step up.
Yeah.
Right? But the fact that they had it and then they took it out is the biggest fucking sin to me. That is the biggest fucking sin. That would be like, hey, John, we know we sold you that car. It's got 3 rows of seats. It's got 9 seat belts in there. But as a cost-cutting measure, we've taken out 2 sets of seat belts.
I think that's reasonable.
Look at all the money we're saving.
There's some
Because
mother-in-law
we're
seats.
saving Cybertrucks are rusting. Thrust and Justin. Ouch. Ouch.
Where's the Mr. Black?
Yeah. Well, you know, they don't have to worry about rusting so much anymore now that people are spray painting all of them. That's it. Yeah. As long as if you're going to have the decent, if you're going to vandalize a Cybertruck, please use Rust-Oleum. They need the corrosion protection.
No shit.
Just be kind.
What's the stuff in the back? The rust converter?
Did you see the wrap on the Cybertruck that looked like it had been tagged?
Oh, what, the dick? I'm
No,
sorry,
no.
there
was a wrap that
the
a guy...
SpaceX wrap that actually looked like a penis?
No, there was a guy paid for a wrap on his Cybertruck, and the wrap looked exactly like I gave you a can of black spray paint and said, have at her, Tom.
It would have been cheaper to have somebody sit in the middle
Oh,
of the
I've
parking
seen
lot
that.
and just
Like
paint
the
the
big
shit out of
letters
it.
down the
It's
side.
got like an anarchy symbol on the side and everything. I'm like, that's amazing.
Somebody paid for that.
That's urban. That's urban camouflage right there.
I do love the fact that everybody that owns a Tesla now is so embarrassed by the owner of the company of Tesla that they're like, no, this is a Toyota. No, this is an Audi.
Today, I saw my very first. I saw it today.
An
I
Skies
saw.
one?
Yeah,
What
I
was
saw
yours?
an S model.
Yeah.
That had Honda Accord emblems on
And
it.
I mean, I'll be honest.
It fooled me.
I'll be perfectly honest.
It did.
The Jelly Beans are really nice little cars.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, it's a 10-year-old design at this point. It's a little aged, but now that you're getting a really good deal because the stock is just dramatically dropping.
It is not a bad car as tribute to the 300-some thousand miles that my Uber driver had on it in Boston.
Exactly.
You put 300,000 miles on a car in Boston?
Yeah.
That might be the strongest car ever. Boston has been under repair for about 200 years, right? The big dig never stops. But
to any podcast listener, if you want to get rid of your Tesla out of protest,
yes,
and want to sell it to me for 10 cents on the dollar, I'll be glad to buy it, and I will drive around with it saying Tesla.
Right. I think Elvira donated hers to NPR.
You know, Hertz might actually take you up on that offer right now.
Yeah,
because
they
Hertz went deep on that shit.
Man, Hertz did get hurt on that one.
A friend of mine posted one today that had Rivian logos
A
posted.
Rivian logo.
Just put Rivians on.
That is fantastic. I've never been so embarrassed by my motorcycle that I put different badges on it.
Right.
Wait, that's not true. I sold Stellas to people that straight up loaded them with Vespa logos. I mean, we sold a $70 logo kit for people that bought Stellas that wanted to convert them into PX150s.
I actually sold a Vespa PX150 by LML badge, which you can still get from SIP because they still have the rainbow on the bottom, the Boleno.
Yeah.
But it really is kind of sad because as a car company, the original Teslas weren't bad. Now, I've heard stories from the second and third generations that are like, yeah, they kind of cut corners.
All right.
But
my problem is just put the LiDAR in. Put the stuff in it. Put the shit in it that was in it when you designed it.
Well, yeah, stop the enshittification of Tesla and we're good.
Okay. At some point, your car got through some testing shit, right? Okay, and then you took the shit that got you through the testing shit out of it. Well, that's when Volkswagen tricks the EPA systems, right? Don't be a cunt. Don't be a cunt about your cars. If your car was designed to have LiDAR in it so it didn't kill children, fucking
stop killing children.
Whatever, man. Just if you had it, keep it that way.
Could they, in theory, be retrofitted?
They retrofitted all the Foundation series that they undersold, right?
Yeah.
They unfoundationed all those Foundation series.
Sell the LiDAR kit back to them.
I don't think there's anything that's outside of the grasp of Tesla. I honestly don't.
What if there's a warehouse just full of the LiDARs, just stacked? It's like,
maybe
all the LiDARs.
Maybe.
Trust me,
right?
Trust me, we know better.
Maybe. But what I'm more inclined to believe is somebody got a giant bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it was Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. Yeah, he got the bonus. But that's the point, is we're talking about human lives. Not just, and if it's just the people who buy the cars inside the cars dying, right? Well, you made a choice.
Yeah.
Right? If you buy the Murder Me 4000 and you expect to not get murdered, well, you were warned. The guys that went out and bought Pintos super cheap, right?
Right.
Because everyone was scared of them. Well, the Pintos record was decidedly better than some of these.
One video or not video, film footage at the time that circulated and people lost their shit.
Yeah, well,
Pinto.
right. Yeah.
It was like what? It was like 6%.
It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't as
No,
big
I think it was like 1.8%.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Of Pintos involved in rear-end collisions that caught on fire.
Right.
Right.
But it was yeah. That was it.
Electric cars' current records are not that good.
But think about it. That back then, seeing that on TV just one time destroyed that. Like nowadays, you'd have to I don't even know what it would be like. Hey, look at that, the car's on fire.
Yeah, right.
Right?
There's no such thing as a Tylenol easy open bottle.
No.
The Corvair, it happened to the Corvair
all right.
too.
So I don't know how many people got poisoned by Tylenol, right?
Yeah.
But that was the end of the easy open bottles,
Yeah.
right? That was the end of it. But not.
Well, they still have them now. They're just the senior. They're designed as the senior citizen friendly open bottles.
So you can only buy them with an ARP card.
Well, no, I mean I don't know. I
Which
buy them.
everybody here
No, the
except
caps.
No, I buy them. I have to buy them for my 95-year-old
I
grandmother.
get it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I do. I buy them.
Right.
They're rubberized now. They're
Okay.
they are
The pills are rubberized? That's cruel.
notes, Chris?
That is cruel. Is that so when you shit them out, you can eat them again?
What?
Oh my God,
the
man.
caps can be flipped over. Like some of the
Yeah, that's-
pharmacies, you flip
right.
the caps
Yeah.
over, and then they're easy to take.
Of
out.
course. That's exactly right. If you had any dumb kids in your house, you want to get rid of them, just put the caps into easy mode. Yeah.
Just a shout out to Kurt Edwards. He said he's tuned in.
Hey, Kurt
He
Edwards.
sent me a text.
Dude, get well, Kurt Edwards. We're fighting for you. We're all here, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together and we're pulling for you.
That
man.
one's for Steve, grumpy sewer guy.
Can I talk with you about your Elio car?
Didn't somebody have a deposit on one of those?
Yeah, what was the deposit on the Elio?
Well, it varied. I think I put $500 down on it.
Yeah, they wouldn't give me my $100
Right.
deposit back on my Tesla Cybertruck. Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't give us the money back on the Ford. We had ordered a Ford
Lightning.
Lightning.
Oh, you did?
wow.
Yeah, and so they started producing them, but they would not produce the one you ordered. They'd only produce the high end stuff.
Well, Foundation series.
Whatever it was. I
Yeah.
mean, it was the highest costing one. And so they kept on saying, your car's in, but
Right.
it was $40,000 more than they
Yeah.
had originally told us it was going to cost. And I'm like, no, I didn't order that one.
That's not what I ordered.
I ordered the cheap one with the extended batteries.
Right.
And so this went on for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then finally, I just said, you're not providing the car that we ordered.
Right.
We want our money back. And they just told us to...
I
guess you no longer want your
Right.
car, so you don't get your deposit back.
I had the exact same experience with Cybertruck. I put a $100 deposit down on the Cybertruck when, back when it was an okay thing to think about doing. And then I decided I wanted it back because they didn't deliver on any of their delivery dates. And they said, no, we sent you an email that said you were more than welcome to go pick up your Foundation series. And I was like, I signed up for a $49,000 two-wheel drive work truck, right?
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for a $130,000 Foundation series. That's not even the same. That's like 2.5 of the car I ordered, right?
Right.
And they said, well, but that's it. So
Toyota did the exact same
if
thing.
you
to
don't
us,
go
too.
buy that, then you're going to relinquish your $100 deposit. And I was like, well, I have a goal in life that I have to either decide to, somehow deprive Tesla of $100 worth of, restorative justice, or what have you. Yeah. I'm not sure how it's going to go.
Got Dumb and Dumber going.
Yeah, it was pretty good, wasn't it? That was good. Somehow we managed to knock over all three cans
everything.
and/or bottles. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was good. Yeah. And look at that. You left not a single bottle standing.
No.
Yeah. I didn't think it was scientifically possible to hit all those. It was pretty good.
He should go bowling.
He should. He's an amazing ass bowler. Yeah.
The Mark III version of the Rathskeller is going to have a little bit more access.
The fucking Mark III version of the Rathskeller is going to be nerfed. It is going to be nerfed. It's going to be a ball pit. It's just going to be a ball pit.
We need more white fur and pink neon.
Yes. we'll blend in with the rest of the YouTubers.
Yes.
Yeah. Get some pink and yellow neon in here. Get a lot of crazy LED backlighting. Some tchotchkes in the back.
I wouldn't mind some backlighting. Let's not get silly.
We
As
can
a
do some
producer-
backlighting. Yeah.
The blue and pink.
Can we
with
have foam
the-
cannons too?
Oh yeah,
cannons, yes.
that's on Expose Your Nipple Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think about going to stadium seating in here, having low seats in the front, bar stools in front of the bar, and then the people behind
But
the bar.
you know that who's
Oh, yeah,
ever in
yeah,
the
yeah.
front's going to be constantly
yeah.
getting teabagged by somebody just
By
because you
sexual
can.
lighting.
Can Grumpy Sewer Guy and I sit up in the balcony?
Yes, and just
Statler and
fucking
Waldorf.
Oh my
the shit out
God!
of it.
Yeah. Two grumpy
This podcast sucks.
So when the
It's the worst ever. I can't stand it. It's not so bad. I kind of like it.
when the Govee lighting gets installed
Yeah.
and we've got chaser lights
Right.
and give everybody epileptic seizures.
Think about the lighting when we get the news briefs. Though.
The news briefs, though. Yeah. We're going to end up, this place is going to be like the Tonga room, and it's going to rain in here. It's going to be like lightning storms and rain.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
Wait,
Disco
is that
ball.
breaking news?
Ba-ba-ba-da.
We're gonna redo the studio.
So I mean, we've got the giant fig. The what did I call it the other day?
What the fuck is wrong with you,
At
man?
the shop.
Yeah?
The
Our topiary? Our pole?
The dream. The dream.
You said the dream grapevine?
The
dream
dream
pole?
grapevine.
The dream pole? We're
gonna have to fight.
Our vision pole.
We're gonna have to fight this guy.
I'm not a fig plucker, but I'm the fig plucker's
He's
son, and I'll
saying
pluck
version
figs till
3
the
of the
fig plucker
podcast
comes.
is just gonna be an
Assisted
assisted living home.
living. Yeah.
Might be some truth to that.
Might be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you saw us
15 more
hobbling-
years.
If you saw us
15 more years.
hobbling around Vegas, like the
When we started this shit, I was
like
40.
the droids that come pouring out of the back of the land.
We looked like the island of Dr. Moreau.
There were more mechanical noises coming out of us than most of the cars.
Exactly.
The Jawas just showed up with a bunch of junk
Click and
droids.
clack, the Tappet brothers. No, it's Click and Clack, the busted up motorcycle guys. Yeah.
Yes.
So, on to more interesting things. Party! We got from our friends in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Oh, I love Canadians.
We love Canadians.
Right? So
Canucks.
these are our friends, and it came from, and I think this is great, because of, current diplomatic relations. Mm-hmm. Right?
Oh, was it flagged as potential?
It came to us via Florida.
Oh, perfect.
There's no biohazardous material in there, is there?
Okay, all right, guys. So, the fine folks at Fox Moto Rent in the Pacific Northwest of Vancouver, British Columbia, Victoria Island, if you're sexy, sent us sunglasses. Oh, yeah. All right. Hey. All right. We have bright yellow. We have forest green.
Oh, yeah.
Forrest Gump. We have acid green.
Oh, I like acid.
Acid green.
Oh, this is my race bike color. I'm painting my bike
Acid
this
house
color.
green.
Yeah.
If you need some sunglasses, everybody get some sunglasses. Put on your cool guy shades. Right? All right. So we have more. We even have a pair of Blues Brothers black if you need Blues Brothers black.
Classy.
Yep.
Who's a
Classic
John's
blues
a
man.
glass guy.
All right.
I can live with a different color.
We have another pair of awesome yellow specs, safety specs. Those are no-sure rated.
I'll give you green.
Yep. Those are no-sure rated. And then guess what else they did? They sent us a bunch of them keyhole plugger taggers things.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fox Moto Rent, awesome, remove before flight.
I love those.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get the email with where they put their dicks all over these glasses.
And this
before
is,
they
yes,
sent them to us.
yeah, exactly. And I was informed that these are made out of 100% Saskatoon nylon. So that is only the finest.
And we use our shit. Look, I got ground beardos from
Exactly.
last year.
How
I
many
use it all the
Nagas
time.
were killed?
There's a very big Cordura harvest this year in British Columbia.
Up north.
I'm so glad I got
Way
this
up
surgery.
north.
Well, at least they're not like they're
I used to go up
ethically-
for the 2-4 all
They're
the
ethically
time.
raised. They're not
Yes.
raising these things in cages. So
No,
that's the
they're not.
important.
Those are
part.
free-range keychains.
Lake McRae.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Here's the audio portion of today's gift. Hey guys, we were down in Florida for the Rise Up Reggae Festival
Hey.
and thought we would send a care package direct to save on tariffs.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Todd K. Fox Moto Rent, Sydney, British Columbia, Canada.
So these dudes are probably like me because I've always wanted to go to that show. Rise
Yeah, right.
Up Reggae
Oh, yeah,
show
Rock
is
Reggae,
fucking
big
sick,
deal.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
They also
show.
gave us a grip of badass stickers. Really, really cool badass stickers. Oh yeah, these got like very, very huggable foxes on them.
I'm so disappointed. I thought you were going to say a batch of badass weed. I thought you were
batch of
going in that
badass-
direction. I
Yeah.
got really excited.
Oh man, I gotta say, their stickers, they are on point, guys. Hey, I'm gonna guess this was Kay who probably did this. Okay, Todd and Kay, these are the badass holographic glitter stickers. That it is just trippy as balls. Pass those out. Super fun.
That'll
super
look good
cool.
on Piper's Quad.
They would look good on Piper's Quad. Make sure you grab a grip of those too.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love it. I love the swag. Our podcast listeners are
Clap,
the
clap,
best.
Thank you.
Fucking
Yes,
well
yes,
done.
Well done.
Well done. Remember, if you're in Sydney, British Columbia, make sure to stop and check out our friends at Fox Moto Rent. The next time I go, and I make this commitment to you, the next time I go to Vancouver, next time I go to BC, I'm going to rent a motorcycle from them because why not? I'm not riding there. I'm going to fly there.
Right.
Pete, with your beard, you look like the original blues guy. You...
He's like the backup member of ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Like, look at though. If you put Steve and Pete together, it looks like they'd be planning a heist. Like they're going. Like,
He's not ZZ Top, he's PP Bottom. Okay. Yeah. That is badass. I'm telling you guys.
Maybe we
love
are
free
planning
shit.
a heist too.
Okay. But then, yeah.
You just blew our cover.
I'm sorry.
So then I'm shopping the other day, using my my executive privilege at the shop, and I'm going through the Parts Unlimited catalog and trying to find the newest products, cool stuff that I've never seen before. And every once in a while, I come along a straight up humdinger of a product. And my friends, I did. I have found the humdinger of a product.
Wait, hold on.
Humdinger.
Oh yeah, here we go. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah.
All right, so this is from our friends at Muck Off.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Muck Off.
Sleepy, you mentioned this last week.
So
I
this
did.
is
Go muck yourself.
Muck Off. This is a Muck Off.
Not to be confused with muck off.
Okay, but now this is what's badass. Has anybody here ever had a flat tire?
Of course.
the other morning.
Holy shit.
Okay.
My whole life sucks because of that.
No.
So, our friends over at Muck Off, and if you want to go ahead and throw this up on the main screen, the friends over at Muck Off have invented a stealth tubeless puncture plug. That's right. And again, my fucking computer thinks it's in Europe. It thinks it's in Germany still. 55 euros, 99 pence. That's what it is.
Does one of those have a foxtail hanging off of it?
That's exactly right. So this is a sex toy for motorcyclists. So I'm going to show you how this works. It's pretty rad. So how this functions.
Steve, get up here on the table.
Yes.
Get on your center stand.
All right. You can go ahead and pull this up on the screen so the people at home can get it. They should be able to see this for Frog Snacks. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. See it?
Assortment.
See that? Take a look at it.
Okay.
So, we've all used these before, right? We've all used the rope style tire pluggers, right?
Gummy bears.
Gummy ropes.
Yeah.
Gummy ropes. So what you got here is you take one of these 2 times a day and you insert it in your hole at the end of your handlebars. Oh. Okay? And then you tighten the nut up and it expands the little rubber grommety.
Those are cool.
All right. Okay. But when you have a flat tire and you're on the side of the road, okay, in each kit there are 15 ropes. 15 vulcanized little ropey dopies in 3 different sizes. Small, medium, and you're not going to fix that with one. Okay? And you get in the left one, I'm sorry, you could use this differently on your bike, left or right, doesn't matter. In the right one, you have the rope-a-dope inserter.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, you got that?
Yeah, the gummy worm sticker.
All right, the gummy worm sticker. And in the other one, you have the hole and biggener.
Oh, yeah.
And the rope-a-dope cutter.
So you got the plugger and the hogger.
You got the plugger, the hogger, and the cutter, right?
Where's the lubricizers?
Well, they're in here.
Oh, okay.
And it comes with different size cock rings. I mean, O-rings.
Also,
For different thicknesses of things.
If you get sent to prison, the left one is probably very useful.
Oh, I'm going to promise you, the left one, if I go to prison, this thing's going straight up my ass.
Oh, that's the prison wallet. For
Because
this guy.
that is absolutely, you're going to be thanking people.
Yeah.
Also, if you like to travel the way I like to travel, that having a sheep's foot blade on you is a good thing. Okay? And I'm going to pass these around. You can follow those up. So, I bought one for everybody here.
So you don't have to put any rubber cement on them?
No, they're
They're
Lubristat. So if you open that thing up, don't do it now, but inside of there are 15 plugs.
Yeah.
You have 14 and a half chances to get it right.
Okie dokie.
Okay? And you just peel them off the plastic backing and have at her.
Yeah.
And then you just use the knifey part to cut the other part off, right?
I guess really, ultimately, you don't really need to have the. I mean, they fill the hole.
They fill the hole. And I have had tremendous success with rope plugs in my personal motorcycle history.
Yeah, sure.
And now this is something that once you install these on your motorcycle, you can forget about it. And I did test, you can take the rope pluggy plugs and you can kind of fit them in there with the blade if you're careful, right? Or you can just put the rope plugs, because they're flat as fuck, in your owner's manual under your seat. And just understand. The problem is going to be when you forget that you have this on your motorcycle and you have a puncture and you go to all the trouble of fixing it and forget that you had the kit built into your motorcycle at this point. So, if ever would be nice enough to take one or just keep passing it down until we run out.
The only problem I have is I'll have to remove my handlebar bong.
Well, that's right. If you have weighted handlebar ends or something like that, then you may have to remove those. There we go.
If you've never had a handlebar bong, I
Thank
highly
you.
recommend it.
There you go. Pass them around.
Let us remind our listeners.
If anybody didn't get one, I will get you one. I will make sure that you have one if you didn't get one. Right? So that's the jam. I decided not to get the full rainbow of fruit flavors. I got the silver, the subdued gray ones because I thought they were, masculine and cool looking. But I thought it was a really, really cool thing.
Thank you, Uncle Phil.
The stealth tubeless
That's
puncture
all right.
plug.
Thank you,
There we
thank you.
go. That's a gift for you guys. I didn't even spend any podcast Patreon money on that. I just thought it was so cool.
Thank you.
I just wanted you to have it.
I would put this on my bike, but then I'd have to take the tassels off. So.
Correct. Right. You might have to figure out a way to tassel around it.
Exactly.
Right. That's exactly
Well, you can
it.
put the tassels back on that other thing that you.
Right. That's true. You can just have your tassels back to being in your butt plug where they're supposed to be. Right. Anyway, I thought it was a really cool product, and I was like, okay, well, when I see a product that's that cool, because most of us have tubeless tires, and remind you, this is for tubeless tires.
That's the point I was going to make.
Right. Don't try this in your tube tires. It's just going to make the problem worse.
We got a good question. Why
what's
rope
that?
plugs and not mushroom plugs?
Excellent. So our friend Ryan at Fort9, spent way too much time. This is my new thing in life. I'm not going to waste my fucking years of my life to redo what somebody did great the first time. Okay? That's it. Ryan at Fortline, if you have a Google-powered device, if you have a Google system at your ready, you can Google Ryan at Fortline, and he does tire plug test. He does what I consider to be the tire plug test of the gods. And actually, his results were that the mushroom plugs were teetering on fuck you dangerous. In the test that he did, the thing, the stop and go super tire plugger awesome fast kit, not as great as you'd think.
I heard he spent a fortnight testing it too.
Well, that's kind of how he works. He works a fortnight at a time. Yeah, you can't get this guy to work 15 days in a row. It's just the way he operates. I promise you, if you watch that test, it kind of changed my mind on some stuff. It really did. I've always had these rope plugs, as they call them. I've always used these rope plugs, and they've always served me well. I have not had too many problems with the rope plugs. I have had... Okay, there is a type of a plug that you have to dismount your tire for, and there's a patch on the inside, and you pull it through from the front side. I'm glad you're a fucking overachiever, but if I'm on the side of the road, the last thing I'm going to do is break a fucking bead, right?
But they have some now that they can push in, and then they pop through, and it opens up. So
I have a stop-and-go tire plug in my BMW right now, right?
I just wish they had a condiment-sized packet of rubber cement that came with it. That would be
good.
That is a good
the
idea,
rubber
dude.
vulcanizing cement is a good thing. It is a really good thing, and usually by the time I use my kits, they're all hard and angry.
Yeah, if you had condiment sealed ones, they just use one. That's okay. You got 3 more.
I buy a new thing of vulcanizing fluid every year, and I keep it in a prescription bottle.
Nice.
So it doesn't dry out. It doesn't get
Doesn't
mangled
crack.
or mushed.
Yeah.
Well, let me know, too, because we have a bunch of that shit at work, and I'll just steal some.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Room RTV rubber plugger stuff. Good idea. I like it. I'm a fan.
I've used the mushroom plugs, and I'll have to watch that article to see why they fail.
Watch his thing.
I've watched
But
it.
I've never had one fail. I've had one not go in right and have to do it like a second time and to get it right. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe the biggest problem would be that if you didn't cut it off, you were putting constant pressure on both sides of it, and you could push it back through. Yep. So if you cut it down below the tread,
he tried a couple.
Know.
I think he tried 7 or 8 different products, and they worked between the range of operation of, oh damn, this is amazing, and this might hurt you.
I've always did the rope plugs, and I'm just going to stick with what I know.
Well,
that's true.
And most tire experts will tell you that if you have to plug a tire, that's a temporary thing to get you home to replace the tire as soon as possible.
It's a temporary thing until that tire wears out.
I was going to say,
Well,
can confirm maximum number of rope plugs. We haven't gotten to that number yet.
Okay.
Right?
I've only had to redo one like once or twice.
I've had them so bad that I had 3 or 4 stacked up in one hole, and that does work. It works remarkably well. It'll get you there.
Especially when you glue it up a little on top of the
really booger it up.
shit that's already on.
Keep it coming.
Yeah, really, really booger it up. But yeah, it's a fun product. I saw it, and I thought we should have it. I thought it'd be a cool thing for us to have kicking around.
Yeah.
Other things that are, we noticed, we were talking about the bikes today, the Moto Marinis, and we were talking about how they're tubeless.
The only thing with this is you're still going to need a compressor, though, somehow. You know?
Yes.
So you maybe can plug your tire. Yay. Right. Mm-hmm. You still, you're going to need
you have to get
shorthand
Moto Pump, baby.
That's
Moto
the way
Pump.
to go.
Moto Pump sells the best little thing because it plugs into the SA like your battery tender.
Yep.
And it doesn't pull enough amps to cause any problems, but it'll inflate up to 60 psi. They're great.
The Moto Pumps are legit. I'm glad that Moto Pump stumbled onto that because my technique was I used to go to Hazard Fraught and I'd buy their shitty little compressor and then I'd break it. No, I would strategically deplasticate it. So if you strategically deplasticate a Harbor Freight compressor, you end up with something that fits in a child's sock. Okay? That's because you take all the plastic away.
Right.
And if you take all the plastic away, the wires hold it together. And if you want to be fancy, a little duct tape goes a long way. But you end up with something that is extremely small. The pumps on those things are tiny. The compressor business is a lot of marketing. There's a lot of marketing bullshit that makes this thing look like, it may or may not fit in your glove box. You deplasticate that thing and take all the garbage off of it. What you're left with is a cord, a pump, a gauge, and a hose. And that's all you need. That is it.
I had this stupid one. It was $15 from the auto parts store that was about this big with just a little short thing of hose, and you could plug it into your cigarette lighter. And it did great. I kept it in my car, and I used it like at the compound. Oh, the tractor needs air in the tire, so I would go ahead and just use that thing. It was great.
There's some now too that are lithium battery powered that. As long as you got it charged when you're out on the road, you can.
I have one in my bike now.
You did get one? Yeah. Yeah, they've come down in price a long way, and the results seem to be people are pretty happy with it. Yeah, pretty cool. The slime repair kit that you can buy for under $30, which has the ubiquitous green foam, the green slime in it, but it also has a little 12-volt air compressor in it. That thing has lived in my vehicles for at least 30 years. And every time I call on it, it answers the call of duty. It shows up and does its job.
G, goal, G.
He
points out
and
actually,
12 tire inflator, yeah.
But he points out a really good fact about
It fits
scooters.
in the BV.
Scooters are great for being able to haul shit so you don't break down because they have the whole under seat area. Man.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. The
Look at this dumbass one for $9.99 on Amazon. I mean, sure. If it works.
If it works, it ain't
Let's see,
stupid, right?
Well, the original mushroom plug one that we were talking about that
the
is
stop and go.
sketchy, some of those had the CO2 cartridges in them that would give you an instant whoosh.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that you had to carry an air compressor. It was just you had to have this thing and just jam it in. And
Back in the day, I had a bunch of those when the CO2 ones first came out. I bought the proprietary ones that had the threaded CO2 cartridges, which are a bite in the ass because then where do you buy those things next time out? And then I eventually got a system for my mountain bike that was just used standard 12-gram CO2 cartridges, and it was just a little thumb shooter business. Fucking brilliant.
Use whippets instead.
That's exactly it. Use whippets, you get the strawberry scent on your tires. What's wrong with that? And then, too, if you don't get a flat, you can be like, Luke, I am your father. Because that first, like, oh, yeah. After that long hit of nitrous, that's pretty good, man. I like that.
The problem with the CO2 canisters, though, is if it doesn't seal,
yes,
then you start bleeding out, then you use all your...
Hang on, there's breaking news to be had.
Oh, fourth grandson coming for David Swearingen! And I like the way he's got his thumbnail as him and his bike. That's pretty rad. Super cool. Awesome. Mr. Swearingen, congratulations. Sitting in the hospital, waiting room, waiting for my youngest daughter to have my fourth grandson. I got to say...
To have fourth, my grandson.
To have... Sally Forth.
Oops.
Also,
I can tell you that he lives right along the river, and next door to his house is a bar that looks like we should investigate. I'm going to bet you that place has a wicked good corned beef sandwich. But he's like, man, you got some time you want to sit? No, I had Dr. Waters waiting at home for me. I got home at like 9 o'clock, but I would have loved to kill an afternoon in that bar down by the river. That place looked like it was a good target-rich environment. It would kill me to have a bar restaurant like one of those places, like you used to have at the corner of your street in New Orleans. Like that might be a bad thing.
Well, that's we had because it had Becky loves Topgolf or not Topgolf, the Golden Tee.
Okay.
So we go to the bar down here that has it, and we hang out. It's a really good little kind of makeshift corner bar, and the food's okay. They have steak night and stuff like that. But that bar next to me in New Orleans, man, was like life. Like everybody, we knew all the bartenders. Yeah. We just hung out there and watched TV. I mean, it was your typical corner bar. And it's a lot of that culture permeates everywhere.
Right.
It's not just a New Orleans thing.
No. Having a corner bar is a great thing.
Exactly.
But, man, the one that's next to Swearingen's house, I would say it's stumbling distance. It's not. There are times of the day when his shadow is longer than the distance from the where he sleeps at night to the bar, right? Yeah, the bar was Tucker's. I know the owners. Damn straight. Very cool. Yeah, very, very cool. Wait, Scott Dennis knows. He literally does live 10 minutes away from Swearingen.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, if the bar was Tucker's. Yeah, I think it was Tucker's. Absolutely. In the shadow of the giant coal-fired power plant that they're taking apart right now.
Oh, yeah.
That thing's massive.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's built over the road.
It is built over the road. It's the weirdest thing. It's like going through a bat tunnel, but you're literally driving through the middle of a power plant.
Is that on 7-Eleven going down there?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me and Mark rode down there. Is that on 250? Like off of
230. Yes.
7 and 11.
It's the one that runs right along the river.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in
We
Ohio.
rode down
There's a
there
massive
last-
power plant, and you're like, I'm going to have to get my badge checked to continue going forward
through
down
it.
this
And it's
road.
the road that goes through
And
there.
you just drive right through a power plant.
Yeah, we rode
That
down
is like
there.
so not Department of Homeland Security approved.
Dude, yeah.
It takes like peanut butter and chocolate business, like the truck full of diesel and the truck full of ammonium nitrate fertilizer.
Yeah.
They just rub up too close to each other, and an entire power station falls in the river.
But that whole thing is
Yeah.
so cool. And then the roads
It's-
kind of turns.
They're
you have
tearing
all
it down.
Oh,
They're
really?
tearing it down, and they're tearing it down without upsetting the traffic.
Wow.
So they're one stick at a timing, a massive, huge structure, a massive, massive power plant. And it's a massive deconstruction project. It's what it is, but,
Swersion said, yep, it's Tucker's.
It's Tucker's. It's fucking Tucker's. Yeah, next time we go to band camp, we're going to have to swing down there and check out Tucker's. It is so close to band camp. It's probably 15 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Nathan. What's going on, buddy?
Hello.
Hey.
Well, if Swearingen's that close to Bandcamp,
Yes.
and Tucker's is that close to Bandcamp,
Yes.
this sounds like it's just going to wrap itself up.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Again, the Lambretta Club of America is going to have their Midwest rally. Well, I'm sorry, the Lambretta Club of America Ohio chapter is going to have their event at Bandcamp, and they're looking for a ride. I think I found your ride. You're going to have some of the best roads in the world going from Bandcamp to Tucker's. Mm-hmm. It's a very good ride.
He says great food and tiki drinks
Ooh, okay.
at Tucker's.
You had me at Tucker's, right? You had me at Tucker's.
Made from the finest water drawn from the Ohio River.
Is that upstream or downstream of Palestine?
It doesn't matter.
Or Palestine, East Palestine. It really doesn't matter.
House flavors.
Yes, yeah, right. Oh, is this the Union Carbide cocktail?
Oh,
No. This is the polychlorovinyl.
Hey,
Polyvinyl chloride
I grew
cocktail.
up on the Union Carbide cocktail, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with me.
PVC punch.
Yes.
Some may take issue with that statement.
I wish I had Zoom right now so I could just zoom in.
Zoom in on.
Tom, our human thumb. He's saying that.
Jesus Christ.
Tom, Dane,
Oh.
Bramage, Pennington.
That is a tight. I did not realize how close that camera is to my fucking face.
Well, you weren't there before. You slid in. I had it just on your microphone.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if your schnoz is in the thing, it's fine. It looks good.
Dude, you don't realize my ethnicity until you see me in hard profile. That is it. Man, I thought my sister had a big nose. Jesus Christ. My God, that's a schnoz. It's going forward, though, into this spectacular rally season that we have coming up. This is, we just got notified I'm going to have 3 of my bikes in the Crawford Auto Museum.
Oh, really?
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, they're all 1/3 scale, so it's like the equivalent of having one bike in the museum. Oh. So I'm going to have my Moto Compo in there, and we're going to do the 2 De Blasi folding scooters. We're going to have one fully erect and deployed, and one folded up going into its hockey bag. So it'll be super cool. It'll be fun.
And how long do they live there for?
I think he said like 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not even an inconvenience. It's just cool.
Would you like an extension? Would you like to spin the wheel and go for 5 years?
Right.
Yeah.
As
Permanent
far as
loan.
you're concerned, they can
Free-
stay there for a long
Permanent
time.
display from Cleveland Moto.
Dude, what if you worked it out? Like, listen, I can bring you a rotating group of bikes every year. Now they get nice climate-controlled
Starting to seem like a very, very good idea.
I mean, eventually the Suzuki from '90 was.
oh, yeah.
That
I mean,
one would be.
yeah.
That would definitely qualify.
Oh, that's
for that.
definitely qualifies for
Absolutely.
an oddity, like a
Oh,
strange
yeah,
rare
yeah,
bike,
yeah.
the SW1.
Yeah.
That's a very strange and odd bike. But it is very funny that we're gonna have some dopey schnoz cam, sleepy schnoz cam. Yeah, I didn't realize it. Now I'm fucking perseverating. I'm like literally.
Oh, look, you look very happy, Phil. See?
Thanks.
Yeah, you weren't described as a human thumb. I think we're already.
Yeah, you want that?
Yeah, which one? Which camera's that? Yeah, I like. That's a good angle right there. Sure.
Let's go on the shirt.
But see, you can see Tom now.
But it's like it is now. It is.
Well, when I set it up, your nose wasn't there. So that's the problem.
It's just if you just creep on it the right way, you can just get the nose into the shot. It just creeps in just ever so slowly. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I didn't see that on my mic, but like when you get to just there,
You have a monitor.
yeah, now I can see it. I'm aware of it now, boy. Yeah, now I'm hip. I'm gonna drop back. Thanks. Yeah, I guess so.
It just
Oh my
freaks me out
God.
that everything's backwards.
Oh yeah. We're gonna give you special glasses for that. That's it.
Here, you want Graham?
Maybe we should have an episode where we just roast one another. Like you're the schnoz.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that's what we were
I was
doing.
gonna say
Oh no, we could be much.
That's every episode
much more
for me.
brutal.
we've had 496 episodes of practice. Speaking of that,
I haven't even brought out the A material yet.
we are danger close to episode number 400. No, 500. I was going to say 490-10.
Yeah.
But
90-10.
we are dangerously
That's how
close.
Germans count it, right?
Yeah.
I was channeling it.
Where's the brown liquor?
Oh, there you go. On Patreon. I don't think you can handle that.
You get all 8 inches.
Yeah, this is 8K, right? That's how you can tell my ancestors were Scottish. Air's free. Yeah.
I just like full nose. That's
Full
my
nose.
favorite thing ever.
I'm still looking for the brown liquor.
Is full nose legal in Ohio?
No, you can't go full nose in
Well,
Ohio.
you can't have it with beer.
No.
No
Right.
alcohol,
no.
then you can do full nose.
If you put some black tape over it, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, I had absolutely. Yeah, it does. It looks like at any. It looks like at any moment I might turn into a Shinkansen. Like I could be a bullet train. It's
You better not tell one more lie.
no. That's it. That is it. It is game on. So, did anybody look at their calendar to make sure that that we can do
What?
our 500th episode without interfering with like Easter or some weird pagan
That's on-
holiday or
Is it
something?
on the 10th?
I don't know what.
No, it'd be the 17th. That
Well,
was
17th.
I think we decided the 17th.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
that's
All right.
Before Easter, I won't be here.
What's
It's like
that?
it's like Bad Thursday.
Bad Thursday. Monday, Thursday, Sad Thursday, Mongrel Thursday. Okay. I promise you, our 500th episode is going to be fun because we have been honored with or gifted a 100% fully powered karaoke night at Skidmark Garage.
Okay.
We have been bestowed upon us access to Skidmark Garage's entire stage, their entire venue, for as fucking weird as we want to get. They have good Wi-Fi.
And Sean keeps dropping by for Bird Thursdays.
Right,
Burp Thursday.
we did have yet another raptor in the shop today.
And he's like, y'all let me know.
Yep. Yeah, we
So
did.
Sean was there today.
Sean O'Hara was here today. Very, very happy that he came in because he brought with him a very healthy red-tailed hawk.
Oh man,
Yeah, it was a good thing, and it was like right after you guys rolled out.
I wish I had known.
I know. I'm sorry, man.
I was stuck around.
It was super, super fun. I'll post a bunch of pictures of it.
We might need to do Skidmark karaoke on a Friday night.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, that's gonna be Good Friday then, though.
Oh, that'd be a great Friday.
right. Okay, but here's what I'm going to tell you.
I don't want to have to work the next day.
Okay, also
Maybe.
true.
What would
And-
you do if you couldn't eat meat, John?
I don't want to have to
Hold on,
sing.
hold on. So if that week's a problem, maybe we can push it a week, and then the week
Right.
that we're not doing it,
Correct.
Well,
I will record what we can do.
Easter's
is-
on Sunday. That's not a big deal. We're not stepping on Easter.
Okay. So who couldn't do it? Somebody couldn't do it, right?
Dan, are you going to be out of town?
Yeah, I'm leaving Thursday.
Okay. You're leaving Thursday,
But
April
Thursday
17th?
before Easter, yeah.
April 17th, right? I think that is the Thursday before Easter. Okay. So we got to make sure that we can do this because I want to have everybody there. You know, I want everyone, all hands on deck.
Oh, yeah.
And I do love karaoke.
If I have to do karaoke, we're going to lose some subscribers.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not for nothing, but yeah, we
I
could.
can
We
do a
could
lot
definitely.
of things, but I can't sing.
I could just do karaoke guitar without any music.
Well,
my
this
own
is
music.
also true. Is there's no reason we can't bring the things, right? I mean,
Well, that
I'm
was
bringing
also
the
kind
thing.
of the idea is that because you and Sleepy both do a lot of really good music. You
Right.
know, you two are practicing for Mid Ohio. This is not
Mm-hmm.
a bad idea to get you guys into.
We'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
yeah.
A studio of sorts. events.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that kind of the idea would be that it would give us the ability to have an event in a more welcoming environment. So anybody who wants to come and help us out,
Live studio audience would not be a bad idea.
live studio audience is not a bad idea.
And honestly, if we're
People
gonna
throwing
do this,
shit at us from the crowd.
if we're gonna do that, then I'd pull my favor with Ryan and get him to bring an actual board so I could actually have fun.
Well, that's also true too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. There's no reason that we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Right. There's no reason we couldn't do that. It could be fun. The idea being 500's something special.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be fun.
500 something special. So we should figure out a way to
us
make it
sitting
happen.
around drinking tequila and watching the mariachi band was not a bad idea either.
I still am. That's still in position one as far as I'm concerned. That's the default method. If we have to have more than one 500th episode, that's okay. 499.7.
500.
Well, you know what? I think once you pass 500, I mean, nobody really celebrates 501. That could be a whole thing. We could just celebrate the fact that it's 501 too. You know,
5012. I'm going to tell you that
U812.
the numbering system, because of the early days of the ClevelandMoto podcast, we had things that were can Tom sing country roads? Yes, Tom can sing country roads.
Good
In fact, I'm going to promise you, he knows every word.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Know
He knows
thine
every
enemy.
word. Know thy enemy. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think that's I mean, whether or not it's actually the 500th episode, I'm not going to court and testifying on that. That is not a hill I'm going to die on. As I went through the old From the Vault episodes, some of them had to be renumbered because Dustin was a fan of having specials. But the specials didn't get numbered. So I had to use the numbering system for the specials.
We're gonna have to hire an archaeologist.
That's what I've been
ClevelandMoto
doing. Yeah.
archaeologist.
So, when people are like, oh, when are you going to drop all of the back episodes? I'm not, because what I have to do is I have to go in and I have to find the back episodes. Fortunately, we have podcast listeners who sent them to us, and we have the drive of them.
Yeah.
But then we have to go back and square them against our blogs from those days to find out when it was recorded and when it was dropped. And sometimes that wasn't in the same year.
Right.
There was a gap, right? And things happened in that gap. So sometimes there's a problem of the event occurred on this day. Many days transpired. Other recordings were done in between. And then the event recording got dropped. Mm-hmm. And so we have to go back and use a Gregorian calendar to figure out how we're going to stack them up and what numbers I was going to give to them. And it's not as obvious as you might think. Yeah, it's kind of strange. So it's funny that we've had them line up as good as they have thus far, but there is no magic button I'm going to press and be like, look, here's 95 episodes in one day. No, I got to kind of put them in. I got to drop them in now and again. At first I thought it'd be fun if the episodes were exactly 10 years back. So it's we could drop a greatest hits episode that was exactly 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Thought that'd be
right.
fun.
Yeah.
It's not working out that way. It's a great idea. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, wow.
Turns out a lot. Turns out a lot can go wrong. But I do think it would be fun to do some kind of a ceremonial 500th 500th event.
It'll include a top 10.
Greatest hits.
I need a sequin body. I need a sequin bodysuit.
Sequin bodysuit, right?
Yeah.
your Shakira outfit.
I'm going to promise you, I flew to Santa Cruz to go to the Misfits 500th event, and it was flight worthy. It was worth flying out to. They had worked super hard, and they rented out an entire theater.
That's it. We're doing the entire.
Right?
We're doing the full Monty.
The full Monty, yes. We're going to do the full Monty. Yes, paid attendance, 0. Not one, 0. Even our spouses wouldn't kick in for that. No. I have to look at that shit at home. I'm not going to look at that shit out in the world, too. No way, no how. But I do, yeah. It'll be something fun. So if we can do a karaoke party, if we can do something cool with it, I am all about it. Did the Vespa tin sign I sent you all for Christmas ever show up? The Vespa tin sign. I don't know. I will have to look into that. If you sent us something and we didn't acknowledge you about it, yeah, that's another good thing. Let us know about it. Send me more information. I need more intel. What was it? Oh, you know what? It did. Yes, it did show up. And I thought we gave you a shout out, but I will make sure that we give you a shout out.
Here or no?
It was the one that we brought here, and now it's literally when you walk into my shop and you see the big Moto Guzzi sign, there's a tin Vespa sign right next to it.
Oh, okay.
And that's the tin. I think that's the exact tin Vespa sign that he sent out.
In case we didn't point it out before, this is now here.
Right. I mean, the pieces that people are sending us are ending up, props are in the shop or in the Ratskeller.
So we're working it out.
Yeah, you give us something. We're going to put a screw in
We're
it.
going to get fancy LEDs so we can, and some fur, and then you'll be able to see a lot of the
extra
stuff.
fur.
Yeah, you know.
It's going to be the
So more
Tanuki,
fur.
the Tanuki Lounge. is the
I
next
thought it was a
version.
big move when we painted the pole.
I knocked down an entire wall here.
Tom made the basement bigger.
Well, now we have to have some accent lighting for the darkness. Okay, that's what we have to do.
I was going to suggest an accent light for stuff that's been sent in. It could be just on it for an episode.
Absolutely.
And then the next episode
Yeah.
will be on a different.
We're working through this.
I like that.
Yeah,
we're getting
getting
better
there.
at
We're
this.
getting there.
Yeah, we almost didn't start today.
Again, we went from a mic and a table trying
We
to
did.
go live to a TV studio in 4 months.
We went to literally a Zoom mic, like the Boy Scout. We went from a pocket-sized microphone recorder.
In a garage.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
Yeah,
is even
in a
when we
garage.
had the podcast
Yeah.
part down and the
Yeah.
audio, everything was great, but now taking
Right.
it to the internet,
Yeah.
it's not easy kind of to get a million microphones
right.
into the, like there's a whole new...
The idea of the limitless number of microphones.
Hey, what's
Yeah.
this
Right.
do?
Yeah, or just, well, fuck it. Just throw one microphone in the middle of the table and just put up Dad's old handy cam in the corner. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, but-
Sleepy's not going to be okay with that.
No.
He's not going to be cool with it. No. Yeah, that is not something he's going to give up easily.
I like to do things where I'm proud of it.
Right.
And I'm proud of the things that we do. And
Where
like,
the result of it looks good.
Yeah.
It's
you know?
watchable. It's entertaining.
So it's like then we can be embarrassing because
Right.
then it looks like we're purposely being embarrassing because it looks good.
Right.
It looks like shit and you're embarrassing.
Right.
That's
Then
one thing. But
And it's just a shit show.
I'm sitting here rehearsing for my karaoke. I'm like,
Yeah, right. You're literally practicing.
over my
right.
set and everything.
Right. What are we gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
What's
I'm
the
telling
set
you,
list
I'm
gonna
telling
be?
you, just go with Shakira. It's your strong suit.
I just know it's going to be a good time. That's all that needs to happen. I'm totally cool with it. Kurt Rotera is next week's show on Thursday again. I believe it will be. Yes. Yeah.
8
yeah,
p.m.
Absolutely. Yeah. 8
We've
p.m.
been trying to sit down a date and
Yep.
time.
Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, we can't, for some reason, because of the box that I use to get this streaming, it's like we can't pre-do the next date so it doesn't show up. I'm still
That's
well,
the thing.
I got it to work, but here's the thing. It has to be 6 days from the day,
Right.
not 7.
Not
so
7.
I can't set it up
Right.
tonight, and then I'm not here until next week.
Exactly.
So either I got to train Tom how to do it.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Right. We can do that.
So-
Right.
Little nibbles, it'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Clicker,
fine.
clicker
Because what we
training,
can't do,
clicker
I know what
training
everyone thinks is like, I can't set up my YouTube channel. I can't set it up to be like, hey, in 5 days this is going to happen. In 6 days this is going to happen. 7 days this is going to happen. Literally, if I make a link to it when I'm sitting at work, I have to go through this box.
Right. And you, and
So
it does-
I have to go through the processing unit that we're using. I can't let YouTube know that there's an event that's going to happen unless I'm using the event device that we're going through.
Right, like so we
Right.
could like we did the one time we
Right.
scheduled it, but then we didn't use that link because
Exactly.
this one created another link.
Correct.
Yeah, what a pain in the ass. This
Yeah,
is
if
all
you-
a pain in the ass.
If you order the Uber and the Lyft shows up,
Yeah.
you can't just get into it and have it count.
No.
Right. And that's what's happening here is like we're literally setting this up, but when everything we have is here at the Ratskeller.
I didn't want to get into this, but at
Yeah.
some point we could actually, in theory, stream
Yeah.
to 3 services at the same time.
What the
So,
hell?
But I don't want to go there.
Okay,
That's
all
not
right,
something
fair
I
enough.
want to think about it.
So
at
you
the
mean there could be
moment.
like a Facebook Live happening?
this and like
and a YouTube?
and a
Well,
Twitch.
this
and
is how
whatever.
we're on
Twitch.
Pornhub.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Facebook is beating me up super hard about like why, hey, you should be doing all your live shit on Facebook. And I'm like, well,
We are.
who's
Or
there?
not.
You're the
Right.
one. You're the one shutting Cinch
Right,
down.
right, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we could, except you keep firing Sleepy.
I know. Please.
The second we started shit talking Tesla tonight, you would have shut us off. What was the point?
Right, that's true. Right, yeah, we've already been demonetized on X. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
that's
it.
awesome. Yes.
Whoa, so 11 a.m. Friday in Sydney, Australia. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. The whole time I was in Australia, I just couldn't fucking do the math about what time it was, where, and when. It's the whole the timing. When you get to that far away from home and you're trying to figure out the clock.
Is it yesterday or is it tomorrow?
Right. Just tell me Zulu at this point. I'm just so done with trying to be like,
Yeah, but
so
you-
it's yesterday -7. Check. Got it. Yeah.
I've got a beer and thongs. I don't need to know what time it is.
That's true too.
On my
That's
bucket
absolutely true.
list, I want to go there someday so bad, man. It
I
just
do as
seems
well.
So cool.
It's on
Yeah.
my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
I hear everything will kill you there though. So
Well, I didn't die, and I ate everything that you can eat in that place.
perfect.
Yeah, I ate all the animals. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Snakes.
Oh, I ate snacks. I ate plenty of snacks. I ate all kinds of snacks. Yeah, plenty of snacks. I ate kangaroo. I ate wallaby. I went through it. I tried to eat koala bear.
The joke from last week.
What's that?
Koalas aren't really bears.
No.
They don't have the right
There's
qualifications.
qualifications, right. Yeah.
Speaking of jokes.
Yeah. Speaking of jokes.
A young Army recruit was using the barracks urinal when the guy next to him said, "I couldn't help noticing that you're circumcised. Did it hurt?" He said, "They do it when you're 8 days old, so I don't remember any kind of pain," the PFC said. "But I do know this. I didn't walk for a year."
Wow.
I like that joke. That was cool. Does anybody have anything else? Let these people go back to their lives and their Thursday night. My God, friends.
So,
Oh,
Thursdays at 8.
you're
no,
gonna
I'm
be
just
so
saying,
excited.
we're going Thursdays at 8.
right.
And if by 8:20, if we're not up, then something happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Thursdays at 8 is our goal. That every
That's the
week we'll be
disclaimer,
here.
folks.
That's a pretty good thing. Like if it's not happening by 8:20,
Yeah, like today we're not
Phone a
really
friend.
sure what
Rain
happened.
day.
We did
Yeah.
all the same things. We tried to go live. It wouldn't go live.
Yeah.
Wouldn't go live. Wouldn't go live. And then it's live and it's fine.
well,
So-
you know, at the price of this operation,
well,
yeah, we're not exactly NASA level of production here, right?
No.
Right. So we would expect a hiccup occasionally.
as
but
with-
we're not using an iPhone either.
No, we're not. We're actually quite happy about this.
Just a reboot. That's
Yeah.
all.
That's all it
With
is.
many
No,
things.
yeah.
Just a reboot.
As we said.
Have you tried turning it off and then on again?
So we do have a question. Has anybody ridden the IBEX
Chris.
450?
Hey, it's Chris Brewer. No, but Eliza certainly seems to be excited about it.
Yeah.
Our friend Moin Khan from A Different Agenda, he'll be using the IBEX 450s in his Pakistan adventures. So rather than using the very small motorcycles they have been using up until this point, which are fun and great and everybody loves small bikes, they're going to take a shot at it with the IBEX 450s. So pretty excited to see how that works out. I have no reason to think it won't go well. I've turned a corner on, Chinesium at this point. I think that decent bikes are being made.
We've been pointing this
QJ.
out for forever. But like it now, it's just you can get great quality, but
Right.
you can also get shit. So
Right.
like you can't just say, "Oh, China bikes are crap." It's an individual situation.
If
now.
you are willing to employ the engineers and do the QC and step up, like you got to step up, good things can come out of China. If you are just hoping you can write an order, send it off, and open the box, and it's going to be magnificent, you're probably going to get fucked.
Right. If you're a company that's willing to have a few people live there
Yeah.
and go to the factory, because I saw that in the RC world.
Yeah.
If the people had people there,
Right.
a good person that was on their payroll that went to the factory every single day and confirmed the QC, they got good shit.
Good
The
credit.
moment that dude left,
Yeah,
Bye.
Not so good.
That's a real thing. That is they call that QC sag, and QC sag is very much a real thing.
Yeah.
What starts great, the fourth container you open up, you're like, what the hell happened? Well, what happened is you brought your expensive guys home, and if the cat's away, the mice take over, and that's a real thing. I believe that the IBEX is probably going to be a great bike. I think it is. I rode this morning. This morning I rode the Moto Morini, the naked, the Escape. I rode the unencumbered Escape. So I rode the red one with the sexy gold wheels. I rode that to work this morning. Super fucking happy. Absolutely super fucking happy. I realized today, remember when I said I thought it had at least a 10% speedometer error? Nope, I just drive too fast. Yeah, I put the GPS on it this morning, and 94 miles an hour indicated was 91.5 miles per hour actual speed.
that's close.
It's pretty fucking close.
Yeah, that's good.
It's pretty fucking close. When I shot the first video and I was rocking it, I was like, I do not feel like I'm going 100 miles an hour. Turns out I was going 98. So, okay. That's a testament to the bike if it feels
smooth.
feels good.
Feels good.
Yeah, feels
And
good.
it's not even
Feels
broken in, so you're even getting
Yeah, it can be smoother, right? They can all get smoother. But yeah, pretty happy. That's it, folks. I hope you've had a great time with episode number 497. If that's all, then as usual, we remind you to please ride fast and take chances. Play us out of here, Johnny Mac.
Bum 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 bum
Eject! Get us out of here, Sleepy. Hit the red button.
No worries. No.
Oh, I forgot we have outro.